He was in that ravine. Wow. It's not anymore. I think we're still waiting for rebooting of all the actual Kimmer programming things. No, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. This is just fine. Anyway, 2:57. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 404-741-1067. Hold on, Laura. Be right with you. 404-741-1067. By the way, I'm loading stuff into my car because we're out of here either tomorrow or Friday. The rumor continues that we're going to be out of here Thursday. That they're going to tell us Thursday night, don't come in tomorrow. I don't believe. Do you know anything about that? I can't believe it. I mean, because we know we're going to be the last thing. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to be the last thing. So I'm not counting on it. Anyway, I'm moving my paperwork and stuff out of here into my car, and I was just coming back up this afternoon before, just like half an hour ago. I noticed these two young girls and a guy, an older fellow, not real old, like 35 or 40-year-old guy, he looked like. Were coming into the building, and I was behind him in the elevator, and we got into the elevator, and he said, "What floor?" And I said, "Would you hit 5 for me, please?" And he said, "Hey, you're the Kimmer. You're the Kimmer. I can't believe you're the Kimmer." And then here's what this is a total ego thing. I'm going to explain how thrilled I was with the little things in life that make a difference, and it's because of what this radio show does. When he said, "Oh, it's the Kimmer, I can't believe it. How you doing?" The two young girls, they couldn't have been 15, and in fact, they're on the Kimmer Show Facebook page, Ella and Kayla, and two young girls, and they started squealing, screaming, yelling, "Oh my God, it's a Kimmer, it's a Kimmer, we listen to you all the time, oh man, this is so good." And I'm thinking, oh my God, how cool is that? And you know what the reason I mentioned, you need to get in here? All right. No. Brian's he needs to do a hit, Control Alt Delete. They still do that? That's the only place I've ever seen this anymore. Yeah. We don't do it in our office. It's only in here.
Apple doesn't do it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, well, let's see if this was Brian's. I'll get us back on board here. Okay, almost. Anyway, so here's my point. Two young girls, and what thrilled me was these are two young girls, and their natural reaction was unfiltered, spontaneous, gleeful, happy, all those things that went right to my heart. I mean, I thought, oh my God, what a nice thing this is that these two young girls are not yet jaded. They're not yet afraid of what they're saying. You know what I mean? They're not afraid to react or say something. They're totally natural and spontaneous, youthful, happy, gleeful. Honestly, God, it was the sweetest thing that happened. Just a little thing of those two girls squealing and saying, "Oh my God, can we take a picture? Can we take a picture?" And being thrilled just to meet lousy old me in the elevator. I mean, my God. That's what this business is. That's what we're going to miss the most if we're not back on the air someplace. Is those little things like that. Do you realize how happy that just made me? I mean, really, honestly, I was flabbergasted. It was just the sweetest, nicest, spontaneous, natural, youthful exuberance. There was no jading about it. There was no filtering. There was no worried about it. It was just, the jump for glee and let's take a picture. Just as sweet, nice, and happy as they could be. And I'm telling you that's why I love this job because, and by the way, there was a lot of idiots in media, but I've always been nothing but flattered entirely if someone wants to take my picture or get a handshake or whatever. How could you not be flattered that someone would care enough to want to stay high or meet you or whatever? You know? What are you smirking at? Yeah. I'm really it did my heart good. I can't, Ella and Kayla, and I guess one of their dad, and it was just the nicest thing in the world. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
But you've got about a 1 minute timer. And when that timer goes off, you start edging toward the door.
Yeah, that's it. How we doing, Brian? Are we ready?
Should be.
Let's try it. Yes, it works. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, now I got to get on the right page, and then we'll start the actual program. We have Newsmaker Lines. Thank you, Brian. We have Newsmaker Lines coming up. It's 301. Here's the number, 404-741-1067. Here's Laura up on top. Jim's coming up. Laura, thanks for holding. Welcome. You're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer. I'm not a young girl, but I love you just the same.
Well, I love you, too.
Like everybody else, I just want to say ta-ta for now, because we know you're going to come back up somewhere.
We're hoping.
And to tell you how much of a fan I am, I was your very first caller when you came back on in the fall of 2013.
No kidding. Wow, that was a Monday, November 4th.
Don't remember.
What's that?
Yeah, I said, I know you, of course you don't remember, but I was just so thrilled to talk to you. And another time, I had won some tickets from you and came up to get them, and the, I guess, receptionist said, well, would you like to meet the Kimmer? And my sister and I went in. I think y'all were just about to go on a break, but you were actually on the air. We came in.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Absolutely, I remember that.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
No, true. Because we don't do that. I mean, people don't just come barging in here, you know. I mean, you know, so I remember that. Absolutely. That was fun.
I couldn't believe that. That was so nice. And if I can say one more thing.
Sure.
Another time I won tickets. You're always very generous.
Yeah, thank you.
I called and said, I'm not going to be able to make it. I can't come get them during the day. And I think it was Hangman said, well, I'm calling high school games tonight. If you give me a call, give me a text, I'll meet you out front and give them to you. And he did that. If it was Hangman, I think. Yeah,
what a great effort that was. Nice.
That was so nice. And, okay, the final thing. I know y'all love Caddyshack. I love it, too. It's one of my favorite movies. Please tell me why Rodney Dangerfield says no offense when he introduces Mr. Wang.
Oh, well, because Wang is a colloquial term for a man's thing.
Yeah, so. Okay, well, that's what I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and that, by the way, Lauren, Newsmaker line here, just 1 second, and this thing. That's why I started calling my producer. Oh, he just hung up. What happened?
Wayne.
Wayne, no offense, instead of Wang, of course, Wayne, no offense. So that's why it was related to Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that's what it was.
Yes, ma'am. Laura, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I look forward to finding you soon.
Thank you. We're working on something, that's for sure. I'll keep you posted. 303. I don't know what happened to the Newsmaker line. There he is. He's back again. Hold on a second. And by the way, who's on? Is mostly innocent Miss Christians doing our phones today. Hold on. There's the Newsmaker line. Pete, let's see who's on the old Newsmaker line. Good afternoon.
Kimmer.
It's W. How's it going?
Oh, can you hear me okay? I called back because the first line sounded really bad, so I tried back again.
Oh, you mean like normal? No, it sounds great now.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I mean, I guess it's kind of like Freddie Mercury said to Rock Hudson.
What was that, sir?
I don't know if the problem's on my end or your end. But anyway.
Either way. You're not going to make it.
Well, I wanted to reach you before you went on vacation next week. You going anywhere fun?
Not
Are
really.
they going to be playing best of shows?
It's not really a vacation, sir.
We'll all be here June the 10th when you get back. So
okay.
have a good time while you hope you go somewhere nice.
For that week off, yeah.
Something I'm hoping maybe you could explain to me. When did climbing Mount Everest become as dangerous as approaching the same intersection as my wife Laura? You know, Laura, she thinks a stop sign is only a suggestion.
A suggestion, sure, if you feel like it. Not in a hurry.
Yeah. She used to work for an answering service, you know.
An answering service? Really? I didn't know.
She told people, let me see if I can run him down for you. I'm glad we can laugh about it now.
Well, it's funny now.
We're not the one laying in the road in a pool of our own blood, you know.
Bumper for a head catch.
Over Memorial Day weekend, she threw a couple of classmates on the grill. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom, wow. Boom.
2 people were injured when a garbage truck crashed into Gloria Estefan's recording studio down in Miami.
Yeah, Miami studio, Gloria.
Yeah, apparently Killer Mike had rented the studio and the garbage men were there to pick up the demo. You know, direct to hefty bag.
Goes right to the landfill. Cut out the middleman.
Anyway, you know, you can pick up Killer Mike's a new CD at Walmart.
Walmart? Really? You can pick it up there?
It's in the dumpster in the back, I think. Well, speaking of music, the Spice Girls tour had terrible sound problems yet for a second straight night.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize your engineering department was moonlighting.
No. It's the equipment, sir. Not
Yeah. It won't be a problem for K-Love where every tax-evading plea for money under false pretenses will be crystal clear. I promise you won't miss a word when they bring in their state-of-the-art equipment, yeah. I'll say if you want to hear real contemporary Christian music without the begging and Soros-backed hidden agenda, set your dial to the fish 104.7.
That's right, the fish. Yeah.
That's what I do. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, President Bush, if you were a young parent in today's world, would you vaccinate your children?
Vaccinate your children?
I said, hell no, I'd let a doctor do it. I mean, what kind of stupid question is that? Vaccinate my children.
Reminds me of the time when your wife was pregnant and about to give birth and you had to call the doctor, a misunderstanding.
I was a nervous wreck. You remember that I was calling when she was about to give birth to the twin daughters, Jenna and Barbara. And guess what? They were born on the same day.
That's incredible. Twins born on the same day. And the contractions were coming.
Anyway, I called the doctor and said, my wife Laura's having labor pains. The contractions are coming closer and closer together. And the doctor said, is this her first child? I said, no, you idiot. This is her husband. This is her first child.
What were you thinking?
You and Pete have a nice vacation. Try to enjoy yourself and not worry about work. Hell, it'll be there when you get back.
Thanks for the words of encouragement. President W. Oh, mercy. 308. To the phones, 404-741-1067. Jim on 2 there, Pete, Todd, and Flying Brian. Hold on. Hey, Jim, how you doing? You're on the radio.
Kimmer, I'm doing great. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
I haven't called you in the past, but I've had a question on my mind.
Yeah.
Almost every day that I listen to your program, I've never heard it asked before.
All right.
And in honor of John Fogerty's birthday yesterday, I figured I'd ask this question.
Yeah.
Your lead-in song is Up Around the Bend by Creedence.
Yeah.
Give me an idea why you picked that as your lead-in song.
Actually, it was not my choice, if I remember correctly, and this goes back, 30 years or something, I guess, close 91 or something like that. And I was thinking of the guitar riff from Boys of Summer, which I love. I just love that, the opening guitar and then the middle guitar riff from Boys of Summer. And I'm trying to remember. I think Mike Rose was my first producer, if I recall, and I think he might have picked it just because it had a good beat. I've never been a fan of CCR, honestly. I mean, I'll listen to their stuff, but I would never go buy one of their records or albums or whatever. But I think Mike Rose was the one who picked it just because of the beat. And it just stuck. I really don't know. That's what I remember, but I may not be right. I think he picked it.
This is what you wanted to do it too.
Oh, you just killed him.
Nice work, Pete.
That's proof that even a blind pig finds a truffle every now and
then. So this is what you originally wanted,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can hear you herping and hollering.
Yeah,
I don't. Well, that's the other thing. Now, see, if you hadn't cut Mike off, I would have kept explaining the thing. I had no intention. I had no intention of herping and hoeing. I don't know. I just started.
But this isn't an opening song. This is
but the one in the middle. I mean, it's got a great beat in the middle, or at the end.
Still, it's too late back.
I know,
man.
but it had such a great beat, and I love the song.
I'm telling you, it's too late back.
Oh, fine, very much, and I guess I won't use it, will I? Freaking moot. And we're not using it, so what's the anyway? But I had no intention of herping and hoeing. I just started it. And I don't know whether someone said, oh, you ought to keep doing it, or I don't really know. I just did it. It was just spontaneous, and I just started doing it because the beat got to me. But other than that, I have no explanation. I think it wasn't planned. We just did it.
Best thing.
310. Hold on. We got Mike and Flying Brian.
And Matt's right behind us, actually.
Who did what now?
Matt's right behind us.
Matt Doors in the room. I can't see because it's all dark in there. What's he doing in there, I wonder?
He's waiting for you.
Oh, excellent. Well, there we go. No, keep the light off. That's all right. Hamilton Express Loop traffic. Here we go. Matt Doors.
This is Bernie Sanders.
Burn.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Jellyfish and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Jellyfish and Ocasio-Bang-Bang.
Ain't two things that can survive without a brain. And now, here's your host, the Kimmer.
All right, hold everything. Look out. 3:15. And it's only me. It's only the Kimmer, the mostly innocent Miss Christian's doing our phone answering today. And she'll be here. She may be here tomorrow. Although you can tell, we're going to work Friday. I mean, this rumor about us being let go tomorrow and not come in Friday is nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm planning on being here Friday. So Miss Christian, I feel bad. She said she was going to come in tomorrow in case we're not here Friday. We'll be here Friday. So don't mess yourself up, sweet girl. It's fine. And she may sing for us, which will be nice too. Anyway, this is Ray Charles, and this was a huge music day in Atlanta on this very day in 1959. One of rock music's first outdoor festivals. Outdoor festival took place here in Atlanta. Ray Charles, B.B. King, Ruth Brown, Jimmy Reed, and the Drifters. 1959 outdoor festival, one of the first in the world here in Atlanta, had attracted 9,000 people. 1959. A couple of quick birthdays. Singer Gary Brooker of Procol Harum is 74. Anthony Geary, the character from General Hospital who, what was it, Luke and Laura? The thing there, General Hospital. Anthony Geary is 72 today. And actor Ted Levine from Monk and Silence of the Lambs is 62. Ted Levine was Buffalo Bill. The Frico guy. He was also in Monk. He's well known for Monk stuff. Anyway, how you doing? 316, it's only the camera. By the way, we had a request a few days ago to replay the Bob Hope happy birthday call that I did many years ago. And as it turns out, hold on a second, I got my notes here someplace. I wrote it down. Now I can't find. Here we go. It was on this day. It was on this day in 2003 that Bob Hope died. He was also born, he was born on this day in 2003, and he died 100 years later. Yeah. And I made a call to wish him a happy birthday, and we have that call. And the last time I played it was a couple of weeks ago, and I played it at 3:57 in the afternoon. So today I'm going to replay it for you after 5. Sometime probably 5:30 or something like that. Remind me to play the Bob. If I can write it down here. Hey, Bob Hope. What's that?
Play that Bob Hope thing after 5.
Oh, today. Thanks. But remind me of that, will you? 3:17. Hold on. Here's Mike on 5 on the old Going Away 106.7. Hello, Mike. You on the radio?
Kimmer, how you doing, bud?
Doing great, man. What's up?
I've been driving around this town in Metro Atlanta making sales calls for almost 40 years. I remember hearing you're very...
Oh, we lost you. Mike, we lost you.
Not driving anymore.
Oh, man, he got in a wreck. Oh, no, a wreck talking to the camera on a phone.
40 years down the drain.
I guess he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. You just dropped out. Let's see.
That's all he wanted to say, that he'd been driving around.
He's just driving around for 40 years. Congratulations, Mike. All right, here's Jim on 4. He has some information on this thing. Hello, Jim. Welcome aboard.
Hey, do you know that story about the man that was found dead in the van?
Yeah. Iron Butterfly guy.
Did you know there's something more bizarre to that whole story, too?
What's that?
Stairway to Heaven was still playing on the radio when they found him.
Stairway to Heaven? No, right. Yeah, oh, very funny. Yeah, 4 years later. You had me there for a split second. You believe really it was playing after me? No, wait a minute. Tried to trick me. I wonder if that's Mike calling back. Hold on, we're stalling here for a second. You're stalling. I'm stalling. All right, hold on. Here's Leora, I think, on 2. Is that Leora? Am I saying that properly?
Yes, you are.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Well, I'm doing okay. I just see all the things that's going on, and I can't believe all the things that's been switched around.
Yeah.
Every time that these people on the main media that used to be decent people turn around and do the things they do and say about Trump, it's really them doing a lot of it. And I get tired of that for sure. But I tell you, I've been in Georgia since 2015 with my husband, and in 2016 we've decided to try to get ahead of the game by going ahead and voting, because the church said you should vote. You shouldn't just not vote at all, because we thought it was such a circus.
Yeah.
And October 17th we did that, but again we voted for the wrong person.
Yeah.
Come to find out on election night by InfoWars that what had really happened. And it got verified to me by a Sandy who had been in the military. She said she'd been knowing about the Clintons for years.
Yeah.
And I told her, would you know that they're supposed to be involved with witchcraft? And she said, I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised. That was her answer.
Witchcraft, the Clintons, it all goes together, Leona. It all goes together.
I know, and I'm telling you, I'm glad I got woke up.
Yeah.
But, of course, I'm independent.
Yes, ma'am.
My voting. I don't believe in parties so much as I do the people and what they're
there you go.
about, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
And, of course, I'm going to miss you guys. I have to tell you something, though.
All right, then.
You get over the top sometimes.
I do. I'm a little crazy. Yeah, this is true.
You, but the younger people do.
Yeah,
on the show.
I'm a little dangerous.
They sound sometimes because they're laughing so hard all the time.
Yeah.
And that they almost are on marijuana. Sometimes.
Well, I deny that entirely. I know.
That's what it reminds me of.
Well,
but anyway, and of course I haven't done that. That's what's ironic.
Well, no, I
go into doing those things.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you.
I know that they say you get silly when you're on that.
Well, you get a little silly, that's for sure. Leora, I'm very nice. Sweetie, I've got to run. I thank you so much for your kind words. I'm late to get to traffic, but keep listening. We'll figure out where we're going. And speaking of bias, I got another story about NBC bias coming up in a second. First, Havlin. But first,
Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer,
by request,
had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games.
Yes, there you go. A little by request of Rudolph by Shakespeare. 321 Havlin Express Loop traffic check. Here's Matt Dorr.
Hi, this is John Rickles. This portion of our show is brought to you by the Hangman.
Oh.
I understand he's back.
Yeah.
Back where? Home? 680 The Fan? The cigar store? How would you know he was back? And now here's your host, the man I never liked, the Kimmer.
The hockey puck. Look out. 326. How's it going? Got all your calls there. Flying Brian, Steve, and Todd, and John, and Shirley. Hang in there. Oh, we got to get to Shirley's listening long distance. But first, 326. Here's the number: 404-741-1067. I'm going to start this over again. I was talking over it. This is the weird song here by Paul McCartney. Yep, he's actually singing. Mary Had a Little Lamb. It was released as a single rock song on this day in 1971. I don't know why he released it. I don't know why they did it. As a joke or...
John Lennon was right.
We should all be high all the time.
No, all he did was write stupid little lyrics.
Yeah, and this is he actually sang Mary Had a Little Lamb. And although it was one of his least successful efforts ever, it was still cracked the top 30. Mary Had a Little Lamb by Paul McCartney cracked the top 30 rock and roll charts. Well, who'd have thought it? All right, 327, 404-741-1067. I want to get all your calls. First, I got to mention this. I'm going to try to mention it again later. Speaking of bias, every night when I get home, I replay, I DVR both CBS and NBC News, which are on at 6:30, so I don't get to see them live. Anyway, bias. Lester Holt is one of the worst ever. Last night, Peter Alexander did the story on the controversy over Donald Trump supposedly siding with North Korea's dictator against Joe Biden, agreeing that he's a low IQ. And everybody was saying, oh, this is despicable for a president of the United States, for a leader to be on foreign soil and criticize an American citizen. This is despicable. It's impeachable. He never should have done it. It's beyond the pale. And CBS happened to mention, oh, don't forget now, Joe Biden did the same damn thing condemning Trump when he was in Germany. So he was on foreign soil blasting the president of the United States and nobody said squat. Well, guess what? NBC never mentioned that part. They never mentioned the response from the White House. This is important. I'm sorry to keep bragging about this. When NBC did the story about all the Democrats saying, oh, this is inexcusable, a man should be thrown out of office for this, the White House released a statement saying, oh, that's rich, since Joe Biden did the same thing when he was on foreign soil in Germany against the president. CBS quoted the White House response, which everybody should have done. If the White House responds to a news story, you cover it. You report it. And NBC ignored it. NBC did nothing but Democrats bitching about Donald Trump and never mentioned the truth of it, the fair side of the story. The Democrats do the same damn thing. Hell, John Kerry was dealing with the Iranians, and he was dealing overseas and blasting the president on foreign soil. And yet you can't find anybody to mention that. CBS did one part of it last night. NBC ignored it. Talk about bias. It's liberal bias by omission. They don't have to use bad words. They just don't put it in there. So all you know is, oh my God, the whole world's against Donald Trump now. God, you freaking phonies, you dirty... I hate you. I freaking hate you. 329. All right, hold on a minute. Let's get Shirley, because she's got long-distance charges, I think. Hey, Shirley, you're on the radio. How's it going?
Killer Babe!
What's up, sweetheart?
Hey, we're in Jean, Nevada. We're actually from Georgia. We're listening to you on iHeart playing slot machines. We love you. Podcast, baby.
7 come 11, baby. Mama needs a new pair of shoes or something or other. Well, are you having any luck? Are you losing all your money, or are you winning anything?
No, we ain't losing any money. We breaking even, but we love you, and we can't wait for you to go on podcast, and we're going to be the first to pay.
Well, Shirley, you are so sweet. Have a great trip, and I hope you gamble profitably, and at least with fun out there in Vegas. Thanks, sweetie. Appreciate it.
So this is, hey, Kimmer.
Yeah.
This is the first couple calls you might have had in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're sitting here, it ain't but about 12:30 up here now.
Yeah, that's true. A couple hours.
You're always ahead of us in Georgia, 13th original colony, named after a king.
There you go.
And so we're sitting here playing the slot machine. I said, hell, the Kimmer's on. Then, even though we've got the music in the casino, we turned the phone on. I said, call it.
I'll be darned.
God bless you, brother. We love you, man. We sent you a message on the Facebook page. Tell us where to pay.
Yeah, we will. I swear we're going to...
3 hours a day, 5 days a week. I don't know why you slack ass. It goes 2 hours a day, 3 days a week or something. What's that all about?
Yeah, same here.
Well,
anyway, thanks, man.
I've been drinking. I better not call them.
No, that's okay. Thank you, guys. You be careful out there and have great fun in Vegas. We won't tell anybody. 331. Let's see. God, John, hold on. John may have I've got a newsbreak line coming up here any second. So, John, if you can hold on, he may have some kind of a story. How about Todd on 3 real fast here, see what's going on with Todd. Hello, Todd. You're on the radio. How's it going?
It's going okay, Kimmer. Just want to let you know I'm going to miss you guys, you, Pete, and especially the Newsmaker line.
Yeah, me too.
You guys are the funniest stuff I've heard in a long time. I used to listen to y'all when y'all were on like 12 to 3.
Yeah.
When you wanted to be part of the evening crew.
Yes, sir.
But you got your wish, and I'm one of the Democratic listeners, but you're the funniest stuff. You guys are the funniest stuff I've ever heard. I'm sorry to see you guys leave. I'm going to be listening all day on Friday.
Yeah, thanks.
Politics aside, man, you guys are the funniest stuff I've ever heard.
Thanks, Todd.
It was a long time. And my last supervisor was a Marine when I was in the Air Force.
Oh, boy. But that was fun. Yeah. Hey, Semper Fi, man, and aim high and all that. I appreciate everybody. Is that the newsbreaker line there? Hold on. Let's see who's on the old newsbreaker line there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kevin.
Hey, Mr. President, man, they're still trying to hose you, this freaking Mueller. Unbelievable. Well, anyway, how you doing,
I promise you one thing. My Attorney General, Bob Barr. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the white guy, William Barr. I'm sorry. William Barr is none too pleased with the Mueller pathetic display this morning.
That was brutal, yeah.
I mean, unlike Cory Booker in the back room at Swingin' Richards, Mr. Barr doesn't like it when guys go over his head. Circumvent his authority.
Yeah, go around his... I
don't mean literally go over his head.
Well, it could be interesting. You have to take 2 for that, I think.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Raptors are staring elimination in the face, too, but remember when Bert Wise accused one of his flunkies of going over his head, and the poor kid said, how can I help you? You're 4'8". I know these are tough times. These are challenging times.
Challenging. Yeah.
Ever since I went after China, the stock market's down, 4,000 or 5,000 points in 2 weeks. Thank God you don't own any stock or have any money. These are tough times for Trump supporters making America great again. I just want you to imagine, though, even though it's not a great time for us all, imagine what it would be like today if crooked Hillary had won.
Oh, wow.
We wouldn't have a border wall. We'd still be stuck with Obamacare. The latest Supreme Justice would be voting with the liberals, and an Obama loyalist would be running the FBI, and there'd be no investigation. Oh,
yeah, wait, hold on. It's really not that much of a difference.
It seemed like a good idea when I started.
I thought it was going to be something different.
I just did. Hey, you know the difference between SunTrust Park and a Shannonburg going away party?
SunTrust Park and a Shannonburg going away party? I don't know the difference.
At SunTrust Park, the guy serving you a hot dog isn't trying to sell you life insurance.
Well, I don't think that's all this.
Who ever heard of filling out an account transfer form for a freaking Michelob Ultra?
Let me get that PIN number there, sir, for the mustard.
Yeah. The PIN number. I didn't think I want that too. Yeah, of course. I'd like to attend the Shannonburg going away party, but I'm not sure that I want to sit through a 2-hour video and writing covered calls. I mean,
I don't really think they're going to do that,
sir. Be booths set up. I said it in the email, you know. Not that I got the email personally, because I'm not on any email or call list of plans that Shannon and Pete Davis and Kim are making behind the scenes. I've been frozen out of all that. Someone actually forwarded the email to me. I hear about what you're doing on the air like everybody else. But finally,
like we know what we're doing.
The World Health Organization is recognizing video game addiction as an official illness.
An illness, video addiction.
I can believe it. It's addictive, too, they say.
Addictive?
You know? I mean, it's rare to see Stormy Daniels without a joystick in her hand. He spends hours glued to the screen.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. There you go again.
Your number's 2 to get into the thing? I didn't know that.
I'm not sure. Last 4 digits of your social. 3:56. Hold on there, John and Stan and Bob and Steve and Brian. Well, coming up on the old Out of Here 106.7. That's a lot longer than mine.
This is Tiger Woods, and this portion of our show is brought to you by my T-Shots and Stacey Abrams SUV.
T-Shots and Stacey's SUV.
And 2 things that carry well over 300. And now here's your host. He's putting well. His back feels good. The Kimmer.
Works great. Works great. Fine and Dick. That's very good news. Hang on. It's on the Kimmer. Hello, Mary Lou. With Ricky Nelson. Goodbye, sweet Mary. By the way, a lot of these selections today from Flounder are from real old rock and roll.
You son of a
bitch. Come on.
Actually, I think at one point we were told to stop playing more of the old stuff and to try and on rejoiners and stuff like that do more.
Oh, we were ordered very
we weren't, though. No, this show was not.
No,
they didn't come near us.
Yeah, that's right. They know better. But Pete has always said, don't play that old stuff because that's for old people. And I said, well, anyway, so he doesn't like
broke the rules.
Flounder broke the rules because it's his music selection. 1961, Ricky Nelson started a 2-week run at number 1 in the singles chart with Travelin' Man. Sam Cooke was offered the song and turned it down. Now, the B-side was Gene Pitney's song called Hello, Mary Lou, which became a double A-side in Britain. Both sides number 1 in Britain. But Sam Cooke turned down Travelin' Man, and Gene Pitney earlier did Hello, Mary Lou. Here's Ricky Nelson. All right, I got 3:42. We got a lot of phone calls, so try to get all your calls. Billion things going on here today. The Mueller report, and I'm so mad at that idiot because all the Democrats, it just gave Democrats more ability to say, see, we told you. Mueller said, if we had been able to prove he didn't commit a crime, we would have been able to prove it, which they're using a double negative to prove that therefore there must have been evidence enough that they're not willing to share some crime. I mean, it's just nonsense.
And congratulations, because you just brought the stock markets down over the entire world.
Oh, for God's sakes. The report is a good report. And Jerry, I promise I'm not going to lecture all day. I'll get back to the phones. Jerry Nadler, the big fat bucket of sludge, had a news conference where he actually said, I don't have the exact words, something like, he said, unfortunately, Mueller was not able to prove the evidence of a crime. What do you mean, unfortunately? He should be saying, thank God the president's not a Russian spy. I mean, he said, unfortunately, they couldn't prove a crime. What do you mean, unfortunately? If that doesn't prove where their heads are, nothing does. He said, oh my God, too bad he didn't find a crime. We'll go have to find one now. God, I couldn't believe it. Unfortunately, he didn't find a crime? So you're unhappy that the president's not a Russian spy? You freaking haters. God, I despise you. Everything you stand for. Phonies. Liars. All right, 344. Jeez, I mean, honest to God. All right, Brian up on top, Pete, has been holding the longest. We'll go right down the list. Brian, you're on the radio, man. What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, wash your ears out with this, brother.
All right, man.
I got the top 10 best things about the Kimmer Show for you.
Oh, boy. Okay.
From the home office, number 10, the callers. Some were great, most were good, others just knew the number. Number 9, Kimmer's animal stories always touch the heart. Number 8, Kimmer's hero stories. Man, some of those were awesome. Number 7, Kimmer babes. I think Shirley just proved that a while ago. Number 6, Pete's tweets. Always great. Number 5, a personal favorite of mine, Kimmer's special vocabulary. P. Stinky Cabbage Heart comes to mind right off the top. Number 4, Kimmer's 5 o'clock cadence. Man, I love it. Number 3, the one and only Pete Davis. Man, he brings his A game every day.
Every day.
Number 2, Jim Gossett. Simply the best. Nothing else needs to be said.
You got
and
that
the number
right.
one best thing about the Kimmer Show is that crazy conservative, the insane voice of reason, everybody's favorite Marine, the Kimmer. And always will be the man. Thank you, long time, brother.
Thank you, Flying Brian. There you go. 345 on the old getting out of here 106.75. What's that?
The warmth.
He didn't mention flowers. I'm not so sorry. Or Hangman or lovely Miss Christian. But that's all right. No, we can't. Would have been in top 13.
Hey, I got in there twice. I ain't complaining.
The newsmaker was in there.
Thank God he was up near the tank. Should have been number 1, but he was number 2. That's pretty good. Geez. Now let's get John on 4. He's got some kind of story here, I think, so we want to make sure we have time. Hello, John. You're on the radio.
Hey, amen to that top 10 list. I think you skipped a number, but it doesn't matter. He was spot on.
Thank you.
Long-time listener. My son, I used to pick my son up after daycare, and he would be in his car seat. And we were going home one day, and someone, you guys were talking, obviously, about service of country and everything, and the word duty came up, and he started laughing.
Duty?
Duty, yeah. And I said, what's going on? And he goes, Dad, they said duty. So this stray cat adopted us, and he wanted to name it Duty, and it became Duty. Well, he is now 30 years old and about to have his own first kid. So I want to tell you how long that's been going on.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wait, the cat is 30 years old?
No. We don't have a 30-year-old cat. But the little kid in the car seat is about to be 30 and have his own baby.
Holy cow!
Listening to you.
Oh man, what a nice story. Very touching, John. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you. Obviously, you're a good dad.
Long time listener, and we love you. We're going to miss you, and we'll find you somewhere.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, John. Best wishes to you, man. What a nice.
What happened to the cat?
Well, cats die. They all die. I don't know. Hold on. Here's Stan on 7 there, Pete. And we get all your calls. They're racing around. Hello, Stan. You're on the radio. Thanks for holding, sir.
Yeah, Kim, I just wanted to say good luck to you guys wherever y'all land. Enjoyed every show you've ever put on. I listen to you guys the whole time I'm in the truck.
Well, thanks.
One special thing to you. You and I share the same passion as far as horses goes. Kimmer, I didn't realize what breed horse you had till the Kentucky Derby. And the Percheron Dutch Cross.
Yeah.
Nice horse.
Yeah.
Real nice horse. Look, they had been telling me to get a hold of you on Facebook. I can't do Facebook. I'm old school, but...
Yeah, me too.
I know you enjoy the races. I do too. And I just wanted to invite you and Jack to come to see me. I'm an hour north of Atlanta. You'd have a good time, and it wouldn't cost you a dime.
Well, I tell you, I wish I had a great big truck and a great big trailer, because he's such a fun horse, and people, I mean, every time he meets people, they're all, everybody's happy about it. He's just a great horse. I'd love to be able to take him around to places, and just because he has so much fun dealing with people, but I don't have a big truck or a big trailer, and it's, plus, I don't know, it's just, there's not enough time, it doesn't seem. But thanks, man, I really appreciate it, and that horse means everything to me. He's a good one.
I know it does. I've got one just like it, but I'd make you an offer. If you wanted to come see me, I'd transport you to and from. You got my number. If you're interested, give me a call.
Stan, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I may just take you up on that, 349. All right, hold on a second now. Oh, here's Henry has a question of some kind here on the old Going Away 106.7. Hey, Henry, you're on the radio.
Hey, Kim.
Hi. What's up, man?
I know about the fantasy guys, and I know about those long trips to New Orleans, and how somehow love made you drive a bulldozer through a perfectly good house.
Yeah, you go way back. Listen, and those are all great stories. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But fill me in on where you came up with the nickname for Nancy Haystack. I missed out if you told us, but where did Nancy Haystack get her nickname?
Actually, thanks, Dan. Henry, sorry. Actually, that came from the very beginning. The first day I was there, I think it was because she used to have a hairstyle. Nancy Zindak is her name. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's the greatest boss one of the greatest bosses we ever had. Just a funny, creative, great woman, just terrific. She's got about 15 beautiful children, and her husband's a big real estate guy. Anyway, I mean, they have a really terrific thing going on there. And when I first met her, her hair, she has very thick, blonde, straw blonde hair, and it was kind of in a shape of almost like a rounded haystack, because it was very thick and full. And that's where I think that's officially where it began. But again, that was like 1991 or something, and I think that's where that started. And I don't think I gave her that nickname. I think that was she had that when I got there, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, 351. Keith and Pam and Bob and Steve, hold on, you guys. It's coming up here, isn't it?
Got rid of all those reporters.
What'd you tell them?
Told me we were out of scotch.
What a gruesome thought.
Avalon Express Loop Traffic and Matt Orr.
Hi, this is Casey Kasem.
Casey.
And this portion of our show is brought to you by Michael McDonald for Chipotle.
It keeps you running. Yeah, it keeps you running.
And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
I hold everything. The Beach Boys.
I come in late at night and in the morning I just lay in bed.
This was the day, 1965. The Beach Boys started a 2-week run at number 1 in the singles chart with Help Me Rhonda. This was their second number 1 hit. Recording session, by the way, was interrupted by Wilson's brother's drunken father, Murray. Their old man arrived at the studio to criticize the Beach Boys' enthusiasm. The recording reel continued to record the confrontation, which still circulates among fans. What a jerk their father was. Man, they had some screwed up family stuff going on there. Well, for one thing, they were, 17 and millionaires, and I guess the old man was a nutbag from the very beginning. Anyway, 356. We'll get right back to the phones in a second. I've got a very nice note here, which I'm happy to oblige. From Jason, says, hey, Kimmer, been a fan since 2000. My brother's been long since before that. We both listen every day. My brother's 50 years old, and over Memorial Day weekend, my brother Todd had a major heart attack. Tuesday morning, he had to go under the knife with a quadruple bypass. He made it out fine, but it's going to be a long road to recovery. As a longtime fan, could you give my brother Todd a warm hello, as he will be listening this week as he's laid up in the hospital? No, I refuse to do that. Oh, no.
Who gave me that letter?
Of course, a warm hello to you, Todd, you son of a bitch. He's laying up this week in the hospital. He says, you're great Americans, Kimmer and the gang. Godspeed. Herp, hope. So anyway, best of recovery wishes for you, Todd, and thanks for listening. And also, Jason, thanks. Very nice note. And while I'm at it, one more quick thing. I assume Mary Beth sent this, right? As a picture, we got it. So. Was it a Facebook email or whatever it was? What do you call it? Text or an email? Or
by the way, Facebook is old school now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I think she sent it as.
Anyway, I got a very nice picture of me and 3 lovely ladies on the golf course down at Stockbridge. It was Eagles Landing, if I recall, in Stockbridge, where they used to have an LPGA Tour ladies event. And Mary Beth Cobia, I believe it was, who invited me to come and play. And there's a picture. In fact, we should take a picture of the picture, put it on Facebook. Can we do that?
I can do it.
You mind doing that? And just to show, I still have a little hair, and definitely a lot younger. That must have been 1995 or something like that, I'll bet you. It had to be 20 years ago. Or more. I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember, but it was at least 15 years ago. Anyway, thank you, Beth. That was great. And she's a great golfer, too. That was fun. That was really, I love playing golf with women golfers. Love it. Absolutely love it. 3:58. All right, hold on. Here's Bob is on 3. Pete, Bob. Well, in a moment he'll be on. Bob will be on the radio. Hello, Bob.
Kimmer, excuse me while I whip this out.
How's it going?
Well, it's okay. I just want you to know I go back so far that I cried when it was daylight saving time when you were on AM because it went off the damn air.
Yeah, I know. It goes dark around 4:30 in the wintertime.
Yeah, so my wife, she was reminding me, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do when this is over with. And she said, well, maybe you'll achieve total consciousness.
Which is nice.
Which is nice.
Wives, I love wives.
Here's what my idea was. I want everybody, and I know you hate emergency flashers in the rain.
Yes, I do.
Don't do it in the rain.
No.
Everybody listen to this show from 3 to 6 p.m. the next 3 days. Turn your emergency flashers on if you're listening to the Kimmer Show and Pete and Flounder and John Boy. And the Newsmaker line. That's my remark. That's a tribute to the show. I've been a listener for 30 years plus.
Wow. Bob, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But that's not
Trev. Ooh, that was a good one. Ooh, that was right where you wanted. You little monkey.
Teach you the meaning, word, respect. No, you don't drive with your flashers on. It's illegal for one thing, and it's confusing, and people will yell. It's just, no. Thank you, Bob, but no, don't trip.
No, just lay on your horn all the time.
Yeah, the horn. Hit the horn every time you're driving by another car. Almost 4 o'clock. Pam has a question for Pete, I think, here on... hello, Pam, you're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer, ask Pete. Hey, little boy, you want some candy?
Yeah.
I was watching the Green Beret this weekend, and that little boy at the end kept saying, Peterson, what happened to me now? And I said, Self, you need to call Pete and ask him if you want some candy. Ask for the voodoo lady. I wish y'all good luck.
Thanks, sweetie. I appreciate it. I call drinking. 4 o'clock here on the thing. All right, hold on. Here's
where's my candy?
I don't know. She walked off with it. Here is Keith on 6, Pete, on the old Goodbye 1067. Keith, you're on the radio. How's it going?
How you doing, my brother?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you a lot, what all you've done over the years and everything like that. I'm one of those individuals, too, who's been around a long time. When I started listening to you, my daughter was a year old. Now my granddaughter's a year old.
Whoa.
That tells you how long I've been around.
I'll be darned. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, and I remember back... Just to go down memory lane, give you a little bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
I remember back when you were the Stain of Atlanta.
The Stain, with my Superman costume.
Yeah. There was this gentleman that called you up and kind of a little bit of an insult.
Oh, it was a big insult. It was a black guy who said, "You're so bad. You're a stain on Atlanta. You're a stain on Atlanta." And so someone sent me a Superman suit with stains all over it, which I actually have and wore and took pictures of on too, just for the fun of it. I became the Stain of Atlanta radio.
And that was what's so great about it. That's who you are as your great personality. You turned around and you owned it. Right. You didn't deny it. You didn't try to go around. You just owned it. And it was so fantastic what you did. And that is just, a tip of the iceberg of the talent that you have and that your crew has and everything like that.
I got a great team. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely you do. You're going to be missed around here quite a bit. Also, too, personally, I would just like to say I appreciate you letting me get on the air over the years and announcing things that veterans and veterans groups are doing. I appreciate the support that you've given us over the years.
Always an honor. My pleasure, an honor.
And, Keith. And last but not least, one last time on the radio, from soldier to Marine, Semper Fi, God bless you and your crew.
Hoorah, Keith. Semper Fi to you, and keep those caissons rolling. 402, Newsbreak line coming up. Quickly let's see. Hold on a second. Martin may have a story. I want to give him a full shrift. By the way, there's nobody else is covering this, and I guess because it's gruesome and so forth, but some guy just set himself on fire at the White House a little while ago, and he was totally in flames, lit himself on fire about 12. It was about 12:30 this afternoon. Secret Service people responded, tried to put it out. I don't know whether he's dead or alive. Nobody's covering it on the news because they don't cover suicides and stuff. But since it happened, he set himself on fire at the White House. So clearly he was making some kind of a political statement. But it was just as disgusting as it was when I saw monks do it in Vietnam to protest in the 60s. And now this guy set himself on fire, flaming fire, ball of fire on the grounds of the White House Ellipse. From a grassy area near 15th and Constitution Avenue. I don't know where that is. I should call Mike Brooks.
You set fire to his lips?
No, the ellipse.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, he set fire to his lips, too. That wasn't the original intention, but...
Is that like an e-cigarette, e-lip?
Apparently, at least for a while there. 403. Quickly, we have Mike on 4, and a newsmaker line coming up hopefully in a second. Mike, I'm sorry. I'm going to put you right back on hold. I'm so sorry. Hold on, because there's the news. I'm sorry. Oh, you cut him off. Mike,
that was the phone did it, because I put it on hold and it didn't.
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, there's the newsmaker line. See you on the old newsmaker line. Good afternoon.
Why must you come on the day of my daughter's wedding? It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Here's Johnny Fontane.
Yeah.
He came all the way from California to sing at my daughter Connie's wedding.
Sing at her wedding, yeah.
Here comes the bride. Here, bride. Come here, bride. Who's a good bride?
Godfather.
You come to me in friendship before the podcast meeting. You wouldn't be suffering this very day.
I'm already suffering right now.
Who knows? I might have let you know about some of my future plans. It's a very sad day, you know.
Sad day, yeah.
My son Michael here is with me. I don't know if he's heard the news. The actor who played Carmine Rosado in Godfather 2 died.
Yeah, he passed away, yeah.
Yeah.
85.
I'm sure Frank Pantangeli would be glad to hear that news. He never liked the Rosado brothers.
That's right.
The Rosado brothers, they're taking hostages, Mike. And I'll tell you, everything with them is whores, and junk, and dope. And they spit in my face. I want to run my family without you on my back, and I want the Rosado brothers dead. And they're errand boy Johnny Olo or whatever. Frankie never forgave the Rosado brothers for almost killing him, you know. Yeah, I hear it's the same restaurant where the boss is having a going-away party for the No Talk 1067.
Too bad we're going to miss it.
Yeah. In the words of Joe Pesci in the movie Casino, back up here, minute 8. The boss is hosting a going-away party for the station he undermined, refused to support, and openly sabotaged from the day he got here.
Yeah, that guy.
It kind of sounds like the going-away party they gave Sonny at the toll booth, doesn't it?
Bye-bye.
You know what the killer's boss gets when he takes Viagra?
What does he get?
Taller. They're going to do to me. Now it's time for Don Eck the Magnificent.
Don Eck the Magnificent, sir.
The answer is Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
How would you introduce Bob to my daughter Connie? The answer is a new iPad.
A new iPad.
What does Mo Green need when he bleeds through the old iPad? Saw that one coming up the freeway.
Saw that one, all right.
Can I do this one, Pop?
Oh, it's Junior.
Sure, Michael, go ahead.
Michael.
The answer is he stood up his girlfriend.
He stood up his girlfriend.
What's Sonny's idea of foreplay? He drives that poor girl up the wall. You know?
And Pop wants to see you.
That's right. Go, Pop, I got to pop. Then I'll be done. I hold in my hand the final
the last one. Okay.
May Al Neary ask you to go fishing and let you ride shotgun.
Yeah, you get in the front.
You should all pray the rosary. Look how it worked out for Fredo, you know. The answer is Bugs, Rocks, and my son-in-law Carlo.
Bugs, Rocks, and my son-in-law Carlo.
Name 3 things that can ruin a windshield. Always great to be on the show.
So honored to have you aboard, Godfather. Be my Godfather. Be my friend.
Come to me in friendship, then they would fear you.
Should have thought of that before. 408. Oh, mercy. All right, hold on a second. Here's Martin up on top there, Pete, on the old Goodbye 1067. Hello, Martin. Welcome. You're on the radio. Hello.
Hello?
Martin, yes, sir. You're on the radio.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, I just wanted to tell you that, when I immigrated to this country in 1993, and I learned a lot by listening to talk radio.
Uh-huh.
And you guys were I've learned how to love this country, and I learned, a lot of new words in English, and I'm just, glad I found you guys, and I'm going to miss you guys a lot.
Wow, what a nice thing to say, Martin. I really appreciate it. And by the way, it does my heart good, because that the whole nature of immigration has always been people who want to flee from wherever they're coming from for a better opportunity for life and their families, and to appreciate being an American. And nowadays, I wonder whether you're concerned as we are about the people who now are just trying to sneak in and could care less about being an American. In fact, they have no intention of being an American. They don't even bother to learn the English language or anything, and they just want to get free stuff and flee the country where they couldn't get a job before. That's not the reason for immigration. They don't care about a melting pot. They don't care about being Americans. It's disgraceful.
I've done it all, and I work all kinds of stuff. I work 90 hours a week before, and I have my own business now. I'm doing all right. But I'm telling you, I'm very conservative, and my people, the people that I hang around with, they're a bunch of immigrants, and some of them, they think I'm crazy though, because I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I'm a 100% conservative, and I don't want to bring that crap that I escaped from to this country.
Right.
So
I think it's destructive what's happening there, and then of course the liberals are now pretending like we don't need border security or something. The whole thing is just a mess. It's all politics. It's the worst kind of politics there is.
But here's the thing: they get it wrong though. They think the people, the media. I think they show those little kids trying to cross the border, and they show the moms and pops trying to,
tearjerker stuff.
come in for a better future. And I get it. I understand, because I see both sides.
Yeah.
But the wall is not about the immigration. The wall is about security. It's about keeping the drugs and the rapists and the nasty people on the other side.
Yeah, gangs. I mean, it absolutely makes sense.
Yes,
Martin. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless America, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
It was great to talk to you.
I'm telling you, I love this country, and I wouldn't move anywhere else.
As most immigrants I know feel exactly the same way. Thanks, man. Semper Fi. Welcome to America. What a nice story. 410, Haviland Express Loop Traffic and Matt Dorr.
Looks like a new stall, 400 southbound, right at Abernathy. Traffic report sponsored by Farmers Insurance. Starting to get some southbound red on Georgia 400. Not quite back to the North Springs MARTA station, but almost. Northbound traffic's a little rough until you clear that MARTA station as well. 85 northbound. You got new trouble right in Swanee. It's 85 northbound. A crash at Lawrenceville Swanee Road was blocking a lane. Looks like they just cleared it, but you still have brake lights back into Sugarloaf Mills. At Farmers Insurance, they know every windshield collision has a unique sound. Beetle, bird poop, drone, seen it, covered it. Talk to Farmers. Door-to-door traffic. The new Talk 1067.
411. Thanks, Matt. Hold on there. We got your calls here on the 404-741-1067, 1067. for one of the last times of giving you a live plea to help my sponsor, the Quick Weight Loss Center, because they're sticking with me right to the end here, and I can't tell you how proud I am to represent Quick Weight Loss Center, because it's a great company and it really works, and that's why it's been so easy for me for almost 30 years. And I've always worked out, and I've been athletic, and I used to run marathons and worked out and ran 12 miles a day and all that kind of stuff. And then, things change. Everything changed. For goodness sakes, I had cancer, and I got chemo, and I got fat and worked out. Well, anyway, eventually I finally got to the Quick Weight Loss Center after doing all those other diets. Believe me, the Quick Weight Loss Center is the key because it works. The hardest part's making the call and keeping the appointment. Once you do that, you see how easy it is. It costs less and offers more for 44 years now. I lost 30 pounds thereabouts. 100 pounds or more is not only easy, it's guaranteed. It works. I met a guy at the last Newsmakerland show at Houck's Grill. Told me he was standing there with his wife who had a big smile on her face because he's lost 55 pounds with a Quick Weight Loss Center. It works. It really works. Guaranteed. No gimmicks, no exercise, no prepackaged meals. And this week, losing weight for all $9 a week for all the services too. Kids join free. Check out the conditions when you go with a free consultation. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Give them 5 minutes and save at the Quick Weight Loss Center. On Facebook, it's Quick Weight Loss Centers Georgia, and follow on Instagram at Quick Weight Loss Atlanta. Here's that number: 800-404-4050, 800-404-4050, or click QWLC.com. QWLC.com.
This is Steve Martin,
Steve.
and this portion of the Kim Peterson Show is brought to you by Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Table for two, Mr. Southside. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
All right, look out. Here we go. Standing by, 414. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Chubby Checker. This was the day in 1962, Chubby Checker won a Grammy for Best Rock and Roll Recording for Let's Twist Again, which was a follow-up. That was 1962. Ray Charles won Best Rhythm and Blues for Hit the Road Jack, 1962. A couple of quick birthdays. LaToya Jackson, 63 today. Actress Annette Bening, 61. Melissa Etheridge, 58 today. And remember Lisa Welchel from The Facts of Life? She's 56. Here we go, 4:15. And it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 404-741-1067. 404-741-1067. And again, a reminder, by request, I played the Bob Hope Christmas birthday call a few weeks ago. And I played it at 3:57 that time. So I'm going to replay it today because this was the day it's at Bob Hope's birthday. And I'm going to replay the Bob Hope birthday call, but I'll do it at a different time for a different possible audience listening. So sometime after 5, I'll be repeating the Bob Hope birthday call, if that's okay with everybody. Let's blast laugh. All right, hold on. Here's Mike. We have Mike on 4, Pete. So we got the hiccups. Hey, Mike, welcome aboard, man. You're on the radio. Yeah, hello. Hey, Mike.
2.
Mike.
3.
Mike, there we go.
Yo.
Yeah, how you doing, man? Sorry.
We're gonna miss you, and at least we get a chance to say farewell. But we'll see you again, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully, we're trying to work something out. We'll see. Hopefully.
And knowing you, for the little I do, the 6 degrees of separation, we have a lot in common. My big brother and your big brother used to meet at some of the tournaments up north.
Oh, cool.
I think they had the same nighttime habits too.
My brother had to quit drinking beer when he hit about 60 years old because he said when he hit 1 million, he was going to stop drinking beer. And I think he hit 1 million and because he was drinking so much, he quit. He said, I can't keep doing this. Yeah, he was a tippler, all right.
I tell you what, and your fans have to know that you have the biggest heart I've ever seen.
Well,
you've done a great job with Toys for Tots and everything you've done for this area, Kimmer. We love you.
Well, thanks. Thank you, Mike. I'm very grateful, humbled, and grateful. Some people are saying some very nice things. It's nice. It's nice.
I just wish you deserved them.
Suckers! Hey, you screwed up. You trusted us. Here's Lori. I think it's Lori on. Hello, Lori. Welcome aboard.
Hey, Kimmer. I've called in a couple of times over the last several months asking about Jack the Good Boy.
Yes, ma'am.
But, I just keep thinking this is a bad dream that I'm going to wake up from, and you guys really aren't leaving. But you are, and I'm dying inside a little each day. So I just wanted to know how much y'all will be missed. And, you've been hearing it from everybody. But I wanted to let you know I am going to be starting a great job next Saturday at the Chastain Horse Park.
Really?
And I want to invite you and the gang to come on down and see this wonderful place and the wonderful therapeutic riding program they have there.
Oh, yeah, I know very much. Yeah, I know a lot about Chastain. Yeah, in fact, I thought about boarding there, but it wasn't convenient enough to me before work for Jack and stuff. But, yeah, that's a very well-known place for horse stuff down there. Therapies and all kinds of things.
I'm so excited. Yeah, my horse is coming with me, and I'm living there and, just doing the whole horse farm management thing. So if you and the gang would like to come down, please, by all means, come and see us.
Well, you're very sweet, Lori. Thank you so much. Good luck to you and congratulations. That's terrific. 418. Pete, a memory from the past. Remember when Atlanta decided to put a trolley car in the city? How'd that work out, by the way? Have the lawsuits ended? Anyway, I recall when Pete and I took a ride on the old Atlanta trolley. Hey, Pete, you all right? Hopping on the streetcar, all right? Hop aboard. Hey, Mayor, have another margarita, man. All right, look out. Here we go. Now, remember, this is new, so we're not quite sure how this is going to work. And no dolly drag-along. Wait a minute. Oh, that lady. Oh, God. Oh, is that her leg? Oh, man. All right. Somebody put a tourniquet or something. All right. Good luck to you, man. Sorry, my bad. I'm new at this. I'm thinking, oh, my God. Oh, the crowd. Oh, now stand by, people. Oh, we're going for Underground Atlanta. We're going Underground Atlanta. Oh, hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. Wow, that was close. All right, let's take a detour to Little 5 Point. Oh, no, hands up, don't shoot. Oh, my God, Mayor, this is supposed to be for the tourists, and it's a gangster, isn't it? Oh, look out, little doggy. No, don't run on the train, doggy. Don't run on the train, doggy. Look out. You're going to hit. Look out for that third rail. Oh, no. Oh, no, the dog. Oh, my God, that's so bad. All right, no, people, stand back. Get out of the way. I can't stand over where the brake is. You can't be in front of the train. It's, ow, the cat. Look out, kitty. Oh, third rail. Look out. Oh, man. No, all right, hey, same to you, pal. I'm not blocking. You're in my lane, buddy. I can only go where this thing goes. You get out of my way. I'm not going to tell you again. That's right. I warned you. I tried to tell you. Keep those joggers the hell off the trail, would you please? Come on, you're killing me. Uh-oh. Oh, Pete, look out, Doc. We're going to hit him. Oh, it's in your face. Oh, no. I can't breath. I can't breath. No, I can't breath. Oh, no, it's going to be very... Look out, Pete. Oh, there's another train. There was only supposed to be one trolley. No. This could be bad here. I don't know what's going to happen. We can't stop this thing. The trolley is just... Whoa. Oh, man. No. I'm hit. Man, now. Medic. Corbin. We're stopping. Bring it to a stop. Oh. You all right?
Where's the mayor?
Oh, I can't find him. I think somebody dragged him off on back at Little 5 Point. Oh, man. Woo! That was fun, though, wasn't it?
Wow, I'm going to do it again.
Oh, now, there was insurance, right? Cumulus we didn't have to, you didn't sign anything, did you? Driving the trolley. 421. The perfect ending as we bring you Haviland Express Loop traffic.
This is Tiger Woods. This portion of our show is brought to you by my competitive fire. Even at 43, it still burns inside me. Oh. It's either that or all the unprotected sex with Perkins waitresses. And now, here's your host, the Kimmer.
Look out. 424, it's only me. Yeah, talking about playing the oldies. Well, we're playing this today because this was the day in 1942 Bing Crosby recorded Irving Berlin's White Christmas. Bing Crosby recorded the song with John Scott Trotter Orchestra and the Ken Darby Singers. He recorded the whole song in 18 minutes. That's all it took him. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the version sung by Bing Crosby is the best-selling single of all time. Estimated sales more than 50 million copies sold. White Christmas. I had to sing White Christmas at our country club Cotillion when I was 17 years old.
How'd it go?
I was horrible.
I love this song.
That's a great song.
Merry Christmas card.
I was the co-host with this young lady at the Cotillion for our country club for the
get lucky?
Winter Carnival. Yeah, well, I'll tell you the story because this, nobody was getting lucky back when I was in high school, and I was going into my senior year. It was the winter of my senior year, prep school, and she was a very classy lady from a nice family and everything. And so, when we got done with our hosting duties and I sang a song and then we did dance, stuff like that, we drove down to the lake on the country club. Drove down
submarine races.
You go to watch the submarine races. So we drove down to the lake and she let me kiss her a little bit, nothing real serious. And kind of kiss her on the cheek and a little mouth kissing a little bit like that. And then I kind of started, when the guy's unsure about anything, where you kind of put your arm around her back of her shoulder to see whether she wants to get in a little kind of, and that's when she pushed my hand and she took I'm not making this up. She took my hand and she lightly slapped her face and said, "Oh, I'm such a bad girl. We better go." after a couple of quick kisses and a kiss on the cheek, and then she said, "Oh, I'm such a bad girl," and she took my hand and slapped her face like I'm punishing her, and that she's punishing herself for being such a bad girl. That was being a bad girl.
Did you learn your lesson the next time you brought a tramp to the submarine races?
Yeah, I paid for my next one. No, got me $40 cash next weekend. 426. Hold on. Here's Warren up on top there, Pete. Hey, Warren, you on the radio, man. What's up?
I'll never ride that trolley. Gee. And there are no debutantes and never tramps.
No, never.
Never. I've loved, and I've been wanting to call you ever since you started doing the cadences at around the 5 o'clock hour. And it just brings me back to when I was in the Army, and I have a story to tell. It was the day before we were going to graduate from basic training, and we got in trouble, and we had to go out and police the firing range.
Yeah, I mean, pick up all the trash, yeah.
That's right. And because we were not carrying any small arms, and there were no sergeants around, we marched ourselves to the range, which was like 7 miles. But, you know, we weren't carrying weapons.
Yeah.
My platoon guide was singing his heart out, all the different cadences, Jody this and Jody that. You know him.
Yeah.
And, you know, road guard out, road guard in, all the rest. And then we had one last side road before the 2 miles further to the range. He puts the road guard out. We're singing and singing and singing. Just before the range, General Hawkins's Jeep, he was the post commander, shows up. He's in the front seat, and our road guard that we left behind was sitting in the back seat.
I forgot to call in the old road guard. Did you? And the general picked him up?
General happened to see it. Actually, the MP saw him, called for help, and the general happened to be out.
I'll be damned.
And
anybody get in trouble?
No.
Yeah, that's cool.
No.
Outstanding.
I mean, he dressed down the platoon guy, but that was
well, you got to do that. Oh, Warren, thanks, man. Semper Fine, thanks for serving, too, by the way. 428 on the old Goodbye 1067. Hold on a second. He's still on hold. William's on 4. Pete, let's see what William's got. Hey, William, well, welcome aboard. How you doing?
What's up, Kimmer? How are you?
Good. Welcome, sir.
Well, this is starting to feel like that football game where we need a Hail Mary pass.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
No. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to buy 107 Mega Million tickets. And if something comes in, I'm going to buy you a station. And I suggest the rest of your listeners, if you can afford $5, $10, that's our Hail Mary pass.
Wouldn't that
get you guys your own station?
I bought some. I think it's up. I think Mega Millions is like $400 million, almost $500 million, I think. And Powerball's getting up there pretty good too tonight.
444. So that's again, I think we need a Hail Mary pass, and I'm ready to throw it.
Well, William, thanks, man. Good luck. I hope you win a bundle. 429. Let's see. Patrick has something about the Kimmer story. Hey, Patrick, welcome. How you doing?
Hey, that was quick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, isn't Pete there to sort of like rein you in a little bit?
I'm going to say what now?
What? All right, well, that last story about her grabbing your hand and slapping her.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, I was all ready to tell a story, and then Christian answers the phone, and I had to backpedal.
Oh, why? Were you going to say something bad to Miss Christian, were you, or what?
No. Like, I was reminded that, you know, there's young ears.
Young ladies.
And anyway, so I'm going to digress, and I'm going to go with this.
All right.
Every time she sings on the air, I have to replace all the butter in my refrigerator melts. That's how good she is.
Oh, every time she sings, every time Miss Christian sings, you replace it because she's so sweet and melts the butter. Yeah, that's true.
It melts the butter in my refrigerator, and so she's got this delicate but bold voice, and she is spectacular. So let's sing her praises instead.
Well, let's do that. All right, Patrick, fair enough. And she... Don't worry, baby, we'll guard you. And Miss Christian may be here to sing for us on Friday. She's here right now. But...
We have a preview of her song.
Oh, here's some now. Well, she hadn't warmed up. That's not fair. She didn't do any vocals train. I mean, that's just not fair. You give a girl a chance to warm up first. Man, she just had a glass of milk. You know, Coach the throat, he can't sing with a glass of milk. 4:31. I'm almost positive. All right, hold on. Here's Paul on 2 there, Pete. Bunny and Jimmy coming. Hello, Paul. You're on the radio.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good, man. What's up?
Well, I've been listening to you for more than 20 years, and I got to tell you, you guys have done a lot of good stuff, but this is the worst obituary ever.
You could be right. Hold on, here's the newsbreaker line, Pete. Let's see who's on the old newsbreaker line. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Kimmer. This is Tom Brokaw.
Hey, Tom, golly, how you doing, Tom? What's up, man?
Well, I guess you saw where Pope Francis blasted lambasted President Trump's border wall. He actually compared to the border wall.
Border wall, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Kind of silly when the border wall is kind of like plans for a future Kimmer show. It doesn't even exist. I mean, it might be on paper somewhere, you know.
And a napkin.
Yeah. Just a bunch of talk and waiting for the phone to ring. Is all I've heard about. Why would anybody keep me in the loop?
It's going to work out. Trust me.
I just got a little email this morning.
I'm sorry, the line, Tom. Something on the line.
I was checking my little email account.
You're something. We're checking. Bell South email. Bell South email. Yes, sir. Yeah.
You got an email from the organizer of the Shannon Burt going away party on Friday night.
Oh, did you? Wow, that's great.
Yeah, apparently I've been pre-approved for a hamburger and a beer, provided I bring my last 3 tax returns.
I don't think that.
They got booze set up. The email. I swear to God, I'm not making that up. Not even a thinly disguised arm twist over there. But anyway, I'm sure they'll have a great time.
It's going to be a terrific time.
The magic of variable annuities. Anyway. I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape.
Well, what happened, Tom? What do you mean?
Oh, last week I loaned $50 to a blind man. Then he told me he'll pay me back when he sees me next time. It was a decent joke, but it would have been nice to deliver it in English. He told me he'll pay it back next time he sees me.
He sees me. Same. It's all good. We got it.
Wrote or something. I don't know. Owner of the punchline could have told it better than that. My God. You see, he was blind, and he told me to pay it back next time he
sees me. Yeah, sure.
I read where a woman on death row was asked what she wanted for her last meal.
Yeah, she was asked. Yeah.
She said, I don't know. What do you want? She was a woman.
You make up her mind.
I really like that one, and I told it correctly, too.
There you go.
Anyway. Oh, the world is back in the news.
Well, golly, Tom, again, the satellite feed is a little something.
Yes, Rocky won the Academy Award.
Wow, golly, again, Tom, this...
Rambo,
Sylvester Stallone in the news, Rocky in the news, Rocky Sylvester, yeah.
He says that Rolf Lundgren punched him so hard in Rocky IV it nearly killed him. Rolf Lundgren said that.
Dolph Lundgren, again the line, Dolph Lundgren said he hit him so hard.
I can't even say his name right. Yeah, people on the set realized that Sly was dazed when they could actually understand what he was saying. He was speaking clearly, you see. Can you imagine if Dolph Lundgren had killed Sly Stallone back in the 80s, Kimmer?
Yeah, I would imagine.
We would have been deprived of cinematic classics like Stopper, My Mama Will Shoot, and Judge Dredd, and Demolition Man, and Tango and Cash, yeah. No, Cash was so bad, Stephen Hawking walked out of the theater. You remember that?
Mumbling.
Those two things your final life was the most fond of was Tango and Cash, as a matter of fact. No, I don't know a big fan of the whole.
Tom, golly, again, the line is really...
I just thought some of his movies were too violent, Kimmer.
Oh, too violent, his movies? Yeah.
Yeah, I once took a 9-year-old kid to see Rambo 4, and he cried through the whole movie. Maybe because he didn't know who I was.
That'll do it.
all these years, I thought it was the film.
It wasn't the script at all, sir.
Great to be on the show.
Tom Brokaw.
You can't get this kind of entertainment.
You don't get it everywhere. It's a true selling point. God. 4:36. Hold on, you guys. All coming up here with the old Goodbye 106 and 7.
This is Elroy Jackson. And this
Elroy?
portion of our show is brought to you by Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
What does it sound like when Kimmer gets out of bed?
Yeah, ooh.
And now, here he is, for the time being, Kim Peterson.
Oh, thank you so much. 4:40, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer on the Goodbye 106.7. 441, here's the number, 404-741-1067. And this was a day in 1971. The Rolling Stones started a 2-week run at number 1 with Brown Sugar from Sticky Fingers. The first single released on Rolling Stones records. It was the band's 6th number 1 hit and number 2 in Britain. The song lyrics for Brown Sugar are essentially a pastiche. You know what that is? Have you ever seen the word pastiche? Yeah. A patchwork, a mixed work thing of a number of taboo subjects such as interracial sex, searching for the man in the boat, slave rape, sadomasochism, lost virginity, and heroin. In this one song, Brown Sugar.
Our 7th grade graduation class at Columbia Elementary, they hired for that night a Rolling Stones knockoff band, and they did this song. And we're in 7th grade.
Did anyone say or know anything? I wonder how many people really even listen to what...
We didn't as kids have any clue.
I never would have, Well, there were a lot of them in there. Anyway, 442. Let's see. Well, Bunny on 2, Pete, has a question of some kind of thing. Hello, Bunny, you're on the radio. Thank you for holding. What's going on?
Hey, Kimmer. I think on Holy Crap, Pete used to do an interview in the Braves in their locker room. And he would hit, something was going on in the background, so it sounded like somebody was being hit or... Anyway, it always cracks me up.
Oh, it was always somebody would be yelling in the back or something, and I'd just stop and say, "Oh, they're beating the clubhouse boy because he forgot their shoes or something." Oh, there they go again.
For some reason, I love y'all. I'll miss you.
Well, we're going to end up doing something, but even if it's a podcast, we'll keep you posted. But thanks.
Well, listen, when I have the number, I have Kimmer on my phone. So while I'm listening and waiting, I'm like, I wonder if I call this next week, what I will hear.
Yeah, you'll hear. Yeah, you'll hear. Sweet Jesus, we love you.
Send us money.
Buddy, have a great day. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. 443. All right, hold on. Here's Jimmy's got something going on here. Maybe we can do a little good for somebody on 5 there, Pete. Hey, Jimmy, you're on the radio. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How about y'all?
We're doing great, man. What's up?
Hey, I was calling you. I would do anything if I could talk like Tom Brokaw. That would just make my day if I could pull that off.
Yeah, I know. He's the best. The newsmaker. Yeah, he's the best.
Hey, what I'm calling about for prostate cancer survivor to prostate cancer survivor.
Yes, sir.
I've been participating in an annual run for Dad Rage. It takes place in Alpharetta. This is the 10th year of doing it. You and your team ought to come on out.
When's the race?
It's every year, Father's Day weekend, June 15th.
Okay, what day? Was it on a Saturday or the Sunday?
Yeah, it's a Saturday. Father's Day Sunday.
Okay.
It's on Saturday. It's a run for Dad. If you go onto that website, you'll look at it. You'll see it. I'd love to see y'all come out and kind of participate. All the money goes for a good cause.
Outstanding.
And local as well.
All right, 2 weeks from this Saturday, June 15th in Alpharetta, a race for a cure for prostate cancer?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, excellent. Jimmy, thanks. Maybe we'll see you up there. 444. I could be on the lam by then. They're not getting my car. Sorry.
You can outrun them for a while.
I can outrun them until I run out of gas. Let's see. Larry, 444. Here's 445, actually. Here's Larry. Hey, Larry, you're on the radio, man. How's it going?
Going great, Kimmer.
What's up, man?
There's something that you said, I don't know how many years ago, but every now and then I recall it, and I just chuckle every time I think of it. And I don't know if you remember, it was the first reality dating show.
Yeah.
Joe Millionaire.
Yeah, absolutely. Darva Conger. Remember that name? That was the girl from... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they put him up as a millionaire to all these girls, and he was just a regular guy.
Yeah.
And then they found out that at the end. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember Darva Conger was involved. Didn't she sue him? I think she sued when she found out that some guy he'd gone to jail, or he was a pervert or something. I can't remember the facts, but I remember the Joe Millionaire, whatever the heck it was.
Well, on this show, all of these girls thought he was a millionaire, so they're competing for his affection.
Right.
Eventually to be his. And there was this one girl on there named Sarah. And one night on the show, they got behind the bushes somewhere.
Yeah.
And all you heard was the audio.
Yeah.
A lot of slurping and stuff.
Yeah.
And and everybody was talking about it. You guys were talking about it. And after you played it, you said, man, they need to change the name of that show to Jack Jillionaire.
Well. We tried to be amusing. 446. Hold everything. Let's see. Here's, hold on, Scott. Here's Ken on 3-Peep and Hanging Logs. Ken, thanks for your patience, my friend. You're on the radio. How's it going?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I just want to say I'm really going to miss you. I guess I got to go back to listen to country music now.
Well,
I've been listening to you guys for a year now. I just came across your station, and I never changed it back to country music. But what I'm really going to miss is your stories about your horse.
Oh, well, maybe I think you're maybe one of a few. I'm afraid that every time I talk about that goofy horse of mine, that people are tuning out because they're sick of me talking about that big silly steed. But that animal, to me, and I learned so much from him. And every time I put I take those videos almost every day and send them to my grandkids because Molly's a writer. Anyway, but I honestly, I learned things about life and about being natural and being yourself, and spontaneity and truth. Being who you are and not trying to fake yourself or anything else. And I learned it from watching Jack and watching those horses. He makes me laugh every day, and I learn things all the time from just being with him and watching him.
Yeah, I love animals, and when I was a kid, I was around horses, and there's nothing better.
No, there's not. Especially horses. Just horses to me are. And thanks, Ken. I really appreciate it. When I was a little boy, my grandfather was a farmer. My dad's father was a farmer, and he had Percheron horses, draft horses, plow horses. And I remember I went into the barn. I couldn't have been 4 or 5 years old. And I went into the barn one day, and he had this great big beautiful white Percheron. And I almost had remembered his name. But anyway, and I went to Grandpa, and I said, I want to ride that horse. And he said, sure, go ahead, help yourself. And I, of course, realized that, that wasn't going to work. But he let me try to drive the wagon. He actually hitched up the team. And I remember sitting in the buckboard and having the reins there were 2 horses. And he was trying to tell me how to make them go left or right. And he was like he and yaw or whatever the he and yaw. And I couldn't figure it out. I must have been maybe 3. I was a tiny little kid, and I couldn't. And he tried to help me by pulling my hands and stuff. But wasn't that a funny little memory? Remember my grandfather when I couldn't have been 3 or 4 years old with those big horses riding a wagon.
That's kind of sad though that you can't remember your grandfather's name.
No, was the horse's name? Pete Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Here's Scott on 4 there. Hello, Scott. Welcome. How's it going?
Holy cow, you're still on the air?
I can't believe it. Can you?
Yeah, man, you're going to be missed. We love you being around. You know that.
Thanks.
My idea, if you have rights to some of the stuff you've done in the past, some of your old segments, some of your old skits, kind of like we used to buy CD box sets.
Yeah.
If you sell some downloadable content, some of your old shows from the past.
Yeah, we can only do it until they catch us, because everything we do on the radio is owned by the radio station corporation. It never belongs to the individual. But we could pull it off for a while until they caught us.
Well, if you could kind of remake some of your own skits in the studio, you can even sell those moving forward in a downloadable format on your podcast.
You are correct there, Scott. Believe me, we're trying to think of everything. And and we're not giving up, and I think we'll be around. We'll be somewhere. It may not be for a few weeks, but I promise you something's going on. Quickly to Jack as well. Traffic coming up here in just a second. Hey, Jack, you're on the radio.
Hey, sir, it's a pleasure to talk to you on Cumulus as Lost 106.7.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to be sad to see you go. You are a great American, a great Marine, and a great host. Thank you very much.
Jack, thank you. Those are very kind words. I hope we're not just boring everybody else by having people say nice things about us. That's very uncommon where I come from. I mean, really, think about it. 4:50 already. What do we want? A cure for Tourette syndrome. When do we... What do we want? A cure for deafness. When do we want it? A cure for deafness. Sorry.
Okay. What? A bridge too far.
like George and Seinfeld. They should have stopped it.
You done messed up, A-Ron!
451, Haviland Express Loop traffic at Mattor.
This is your formerly alive announcer, Don Pardo.
Hello, Don.
And this portion of our show is brought to you by the Ferret Face Portable Vacuum Cleaner. It's attached to a little dirt bag. And now, here's your host, McKinnon.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be listening to Shannon Burke the rest of the week, too. Got some highlights for you. 4:55 on the old Go-Away 106.7. 2 years after he died, the legacy of Greg Allman lives on. There's a gravestone now engraved with lyrics from Melissa, the sumptuous 1972 ballad installed earlier this year at Allman's burial site in Macon. The lyrics are, again the mornings come, again he's on the run, sunbeams shining through his hair, appearing not to have a care. We'll pick up your gear and go gypsy roll on, roll on. The Southern rock icon died in May 27th, 2017, 2 years and 2 days ago. Was at his Savannah home. He battled liver cancer. Greg Allman was 69. Fans keep going to the Rose Hill Cemetery, leaving trinkets like guitar picks or statues and things, cards. The cemetery is trying to enclose the grave site because it's also the gravesite where Allman, his brother Dwayne, and the bass player Barry Oakley are there, and overzealous visitors are kind of destroying the place every once in a while, not maybe meaning to, but the local effort to recognize Allman and Birch Trucks, who died in January 2017 also, as well as living members Dickie Betts and Jamie Johansson, with a series of named roads near the Allman Brothers Band Museum at the Big House. Oakley and Dwayne Allman have an area of the road or bridge named for them in the same area already. Anyway, Greg Allman with new lyrics on gravestone. Hold everything, 457. So we got all these tweets. And we got people, and we got Pete's, and we got tweets and Pete's, so what the heck? A little something we like to call Pete's tweets.
Jennifer Palmieri.
Oh.
That name?
Yeah, I know that name. Yeah.
Yeah, she was Hillary's advisor and press aide.
Right.
She said, Lord knows I've had beefs with the New York Times, but Maggie Haberman is one of the best, most perceptive, thorough journalists I've ever worked with. Glad someone with her talent is at the Times.
Uh-huh.
To which Glenn Greenwald, the guy used to write for The Guardian and is pretty liberal on a lot of stuff, but tells the truth, said, well, Hillary's longtime advisor and press aide is heaping praise on Maggie Haberman. Irony of all this controversy is a secret Clinton campaign memo from 2016, which identified Haberman as the friendly journalist who could be counted on to tee up stories for us.
There you go. Fix was in a long time ago.
All right, Jeopardy question. Just found out Alex Trebek kind of in remission, which is good news there.
Yeah.
So here's some sports questions that we're actually on there. See if you know them. This two-word animal term for a painful leg cramp traces back to 19th century.
Charlie horse.
In the form of a question, sir.
Could it be Charlie Horse, Mr. Diphead?
I'm sorry, here at Harvard, we don't end our sentences with prepositions.
That is something up with which I shall not put.
Okay, where is the bathroom? A-hole. Anyway, bathroom at. Okay, Jacksonville's minor league baseball team has named this a classic shellfish oxymoron.
Oh, oxymoron.
George Carlin
shrimp.
used to say it. What kind of shrimp?
Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp.
An oxymoron.
Either of two current pro baseball team names that don't end in S.
Two current baseball teams that don't end in S. The White Sox.
Yes.
and the Red Sox.
That's correct, sir.
You get one. Took me just a second there.
Hall of Famer Willie Stargell called it a butterfly with hiccups.
A knuckleball.
That's very good. If this alliterative nickname were literally true, Babe Ruth would have ruled part of northern Pakistan.
All right, if this alliteration were true, he would have ruled part of Pakistan.
Northern Pakistan at that.
Oh, man.
What were his nicknames?
The Babe.
Yeah.
And, God.
Keep going.
God.
It's alliterative.
Not Hammer and Hank is all I'm thinking of. Alliterative. Oh, I can't remember.
The Sultan of Swat.
Sultan of Swat.
And finally, this gentleman went to the...
Sultan being the key for Pakistan.
That's right. And Swat is in northern Pakistan.
There you are.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
This guy went to the liquor store and he found 3 bottles. So tell everybody what he's holding here, the 3 bottles that he's holding.
Only 3 bottles. One that says... I'll tell you what I'll do, Pete. Picture there were 3 bottles with names on the bottom. They're beer bottles, and they're 3 different beer bottle names, okay? I will give you the name of the middle beer bottle first.
All right.
And then I will tell you the beer bottle to the left and the beer bottle to the right, okay? The beer bottle in the middle of these holding is called... Insider, like an apple cider. It's an apple cider drink. Insider. Okay. All right. The last bottle is of a Busch beer bottle. All right. And the first beer bottle is Two Fingers Ale. So it's
2 Fingers Ale.
There you go. Okay. So those are the 3 signs of the.
Let's go ahead. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer here on the. Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of line. Ready on your dog, target. If I die in a combat zone, box me up and ship me home. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer on the We're Out of Here 106.7 501. Hold everything, Pete. There's a special late live edition of the old Newsmaker line. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kimmer. This is Pope Francis calling.
Your holy fantasticalness. It's an honor, sir. How are you?
Well, somebody asked me after Friday where they could pick the Kimmer up. I said, well, the side of the road was probably a place to look, you know.
Hitchhiking.
Man, I criticized President Trump for his border wall.
Yeah, you did. You're really nasty, sir.
It's kind of silly since it's about as far along as your podcast is. 2.5 years, we've got 1.5 miles of wall. This thing is moving slower than 4 women in front of you at the Brookfield Country Club. Yes, the Pope is against all kinds of walls except the one surrounding me.
The Vatican, yeah.
Yeah. Never point that out.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Mr. Kimmer, I hear that former Boston Red Sox star Bill Buckner apparently died without anyone knowing his final wishes.
Oh, without knowing his final wishes, sir?
Yeah. Apparently somebody in the Buckner family dropped the ball.
For his final wishes.
You see, Bill let the details get by it.
They didn't follow up on this.
It's like they went right between his legs, you see. Who could forget when Mookie Wilson's grounder got by Buckner in Game 6 of the World Series and rolled right into right field.
Into right field, yeah.
Yeah, giving Mookie extra time to snort the foul line on his way to first. Remember that like it was yesterday.
Yes.
Yes. I wish I could attend the Shannonburg going away party, you know.
Oh, it's Friday night, yeah.
Oh, yeah, meet the crew, relive the glory days of the Mill Talk 106.7, bond with fellow fans.
Bonding, yeah.
Learn the tax advantages of a Roth IRA, whether I want to or not.
I want anything to eat, you know.
First, we learn something.
I'd like to go to find out what happened to those grandiose plans to keep the Shannon Burke and Kimmer show going at our present salary. Those just went up in smoke.
Yes, it didn't last long.
Suddenly disappeared like the hangman's lunch in the station refrigerator, yes.
I thought somebody was taking care of that.
That's right. Yeah, the way they took care of Fredo. Yeah. Guess who I spoke to the other day, Mr. Kimmer?
Oh, who'd you speak to, your wonderfulness?
Steve Harvey, the comedian.
No
big
kidding.
Fan of his.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, Steve said, Holy Father, I took my new girlfriend to meet my family.
No, yeah.
Apparently, Steve's wife and kids hated her. They couldn't stand
her. I really didn't like her at all.
Great show, Michelle.
That was really fantasticalness.
What is the difference between a Roth and a conventional?
I'm going to ask them.
I know your final wife discussed to roll over with a financial advisor once.
Oh, wait a minute. That was a whole nother story. 505. Oh, man. Hold on there, William. Here's John on 2 Pete on the old Go Away 106.7. Hey, John, welcome. You're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for the years. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. My honor.
Long-time listener.
Thanks.
Hey, just wanted to run some things past you.
All right.
Also, the car chases, the live car chases.
Yeah.
The motorcycle chases.
Yeah.
Especially the one where the guys had the Suburban. And they went through a brick wall or a concrete wall somewhere, and you were just screaming. I was in the car in traffic because those guys backed up the traffic.
Yeah,
and it was unbelievable.
I remember telling there ought to be a law that if you race from a cop, if a cop has to go catch you, then he ought to be able to beat you with his nightstick at least one time for every 5 miles an hour over the limit you were driving. I mean, and just make it a rule, you know. And I remember that exact case I was watching on TV while we were on the radio, and he broke through the brick or concrete wall, whatever it was, and I remember saying, beat the crap out of it. I mean, I was calling for those cops to mess him up, you know, as they should. I think a cop ought to be able to whack a guy good if you're doing something like that. I remember that case.
I agree with you. 100%. But listen, hey, we'll hear from you soon, hopefully, and just thanks so much for the memories.
Thanks, John. Semper Fi, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah, something will happen. We'll figure out something. 506, more newsmaker lines coming up. Pete coming up here in a second. Let's see. Hold on. William is here. Bambi's coming up. William, you're on the radio, man. How's it going?
Cameron, I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, sir. What's going on?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. People are talking $30 million for a radio station.
Yeah.
I'm on Amazon right now. You can get a ham radio for $115.
Well, we might do that too.
There's a big discrepancy there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't seem right. Well,
I think the amateur version is only $79. I mean, come on.
Even better. All right. Well, that's the thought, William. My father. When I was growing up as a little kid, my father in our basement built a shortwave radio. And I remember messing with the dials. It was really he was an electrical engineer, so he knew all this stuff. And I would hear him talking to people in China or, all over the world and stuff. And I was so fascinated by that. And he built it himself, apparently. It's very strange. Hold on. Here's Bambi on the old Go Away 106.7. Hey, Bambi, how you doing, doll?
Hey, I'm good. I was just listening. I was going to comment on your trolley story. That was so funny. But
driving the trolley car, yeah, that was fun. A little dangerous, but it was fun.
That was funny. But you know, my dad used to do the same thing in the basement. He had the radio and all that. He loved fooling all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, cool.
But it made me think about an old song when you did the trolley show, the old song Transfusion. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh, sure. Give me the Transfusion, the confusion, the Bruce and Fruit. Yeah, I remember that song.
Nervous Norvis.
Nervous Norvis.
Yeah. And my dad, when we traveled to New Orleans in the 60s, we traveled back home. And all of us kids would lay around in the back seat. There were no seatbelts then.
Yeah.
But he would play the old radio shows, the classic radio shows, The Shadow and
Fibber McGee and Molly and
yeah.
Oh, sure. The Great Gildersleeve and Lone Ranger.
classic radio.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what you guys do too, and it's so entertaining. That's why everybody loves it.
Well, you're very sweet. Thanks, Bambi. I appreciate it. Bambi's been to many of the Newsmaker Line shows over the last several months. And in fact, I think there still may be tickets available for the show coming up in July at the Swan Coach House. You'll have to go to newsmakerline.com and find out. They're $15, so they'll do sell out. But go to newsmakerline.com and see about the latest show. And there's a show now this weekend, Saturday. I'm going to be at the Big Tex. Are you going to go, Pete? You going to try to be there? I'm going to be a Big Tex. Flounder, how about you? You going?
I'll definitely be a Big Tex.
Excellent. I'll get there sometime late in the afternoon, and then I'm going to leave from there and go to the Swan Coach House for the Jim Gossett Newsmaker Line show this coming Saturday, June 1st at 8 o'clock. So I'll be going to both of them. But anyway, if you, I think there's still tickets for one of the Newsmaker Line shows. Newsmakerline.com. You check it out. 5:09. Pete's coming up next. Hold everything. It's the Heaven Express Loop traffic check first. Here is Matt Orr.
This is Morgan Freeman.
Morgan.
This portion of our show is brought to you by my new opening line with women.
Oh.
Get busy living or get busy working on this. And now, here's your temporary host, the Kim.
All right, hold on. 5:13. Catherine's going to have a question for Pete about sports in a second, and that's coming up in just a second. First, I'm also going to play the Bob Hope birthday call, because this is the day Bob Hope was born. On this day in 1903, he died 100 years later, and I called his house, and we're going to play that for you coming up after sports. But first, sports list of baseball birthdays. Former Commissioner Fay Vincent, 81 today. NBA star Carmelo Anthony, 35. And Motorsports Hall of Famer Al Unser, 80 years old today. And now, sponsored by Apex Fence Company. Holy crap, it's sports and Pete Davis.
Golf instructor Hank Haney is apologizing for comments he made about the LPGA players during his radio show this morning.
No.
When his co-host Steve Johnson asked him about the U.S. Women's Open being played this week, Haney joked he was going to predict that a Korean would win and added he couldn't name 6 players of the LPGA Tour except for those with the last name Lee.
Well, that's true. Neither can I.
But Michelle Wee came out and a bunch of others called him racist and all this other.
Joe, give me a freaking
sexist
break.
And racist for pointing out the truth.
Look at the list of lady golfers on the LPGA and tell me how many. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So he's
for God's sake.
God forbid.
He's a famous golf instructor.
Well, he's a famous white male golf instructor, and you can't say squat these days.
Yeah. Jesus.
Your second place Braves have the fourth place Nats in SunTrust Park again tonight. Former Atlanta right-hander Anibal Sanchez for the Nationals. He's 0-6 with an ERA over 5 against the 2-3 Kevin Gausman, who needs to get better. Walks did them in again last night, a 5-4 loss to Washington, but not before Austin Riley, the Mississippi Masher, did this.
Swing and a fly ball center. That's well hit. Robles going back. Track wall. Goodbye.
Chip Carey there on Fox Sports Southeast. A Honus Wagner baseball card is sold for $1.2 million. It's not even in the best condition. The Pirates Hall of Fame shortstop didn't like his likeness on the tobacco company card, so he made him stop, and there's only a few dozen out there.
No kidding. Wow.
The chief superintendent of police in Edinburgh, Scotland, Gareth Blair, has been arrested and suspended after being caught having sex in his car with the married wife of a famous Scottish soccer star.
Uh-oh.
Her name has not been released, but is being bandied about the police station, they say. So it's just a matter of time.
The police chief was scarkalookallating with the star's wife
married
in his police car?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The amusing part is the police car was parked in a park and ride. Well, that's what they were doing.
Everybody can enjoy it.
Come on. What's the problem? Police were called to the scene when people called to report 2 people in a car at the park and ride in a state of undress.
My God, the police chief?
Can you imagine being the cop that walks up to the car and sees your boss butt naked in the car with a chick?
I noticed you have the famous soccer star's wife in there with you, sir.
Don't use your hands. Anyway, former NFL player Kellen Winslow Jr. on trial in Southern California for 3 rapes and lewd exposure to an elderly woman. Police may have him cold about the exposure because the app he uses to track his bicycle rides, Strava, shows him next to the woman at the exact time she says he pulled out his personal bike pump for her to gander at.
Oh, my.
His bike app, his undoing.
Oh.
Penis Amy is so screwed.
She's a bike rider, all right.
On this date in 1905, Brooklyn Dodgers pitcher Elmer Strickland threw the first spitball in a win over the New York Giants. It would take 16 years before baseball prohibited spitting on the ball.
I'll be done.
On this day in 1946, Edward Klepp broke the color barrier, except Klepp was white. the first Caucasian to play in the Negro Leagues.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. No idea.
On this date, 1950, David Tracy resigned from the St. Louis Browns, saying he couldn't get any cooperation from the players. David Tracy was not the GM. He was not the manager. He wasn't even the coach. David was the team psychologist who tried to hypnotize the players into playing better.
What is losing? Losing is a disease as contagious as polio.
Natural.
Well, that's where he got it from, probably.
Oh, God.
The last place Browns were 8-22.
Oh, boy.
Well, I have a feeling it won't be so hard for me to resign now.
On this date, 1962, the great Buck John O'Neill, that was his name, Buck O'Neill, became the first black man to be a coach in the major leagues with the Cubs. Meeting Buck O'Neill back in the 90s, one of the best days of my life. What a gentleman.
Yeah.
Well, on this day in 1966, for the second straight day, the Cubbies' Ron Santo hit a walk-off home run to beat the Braves in Wrigley Field.
Oh, no! That's his voice right there.
On this date in 1976, the only time the brothers ever faced each other, Joe Niekro of the Astros beat Phil Niekro of the Braves 4-1. Adding insult to injury, Joe hit the only homer of his life off his brother.
Of his brother? Oh, my God, I forgot that. I forgot
Bragging
that.
rights. Unbelievable.
Holy cow.
I think Joe has left us, though. Phil's still here.
Phil's around.
Doing great. On this day in 1994, the Braves trade Deion Sanders to the Reds for outfielder Roberto Kelly and a minor league pitcher who never played in the majors. Kelly hit .286 for his only year in Atlanta, whilst Deion will spend 4 seasons with the Redlegs.
I forgot he was there that long.
Yeah, he batted .260. I was sitting in the Steamhouse Lounge in Buckhead, the old one.
I remember Steamhouse.
With the late, great Jack Kennedy when we got the news. Somebody called him and said, they just traded Deion.
No kidding.
And we're like, good.
Yeah. Too sporty.
Yep.
Thanks, Pete. I tell you what, let's stay right there. Catherine on 4 has a Pete question, I think. Catherine, hi. Welcome aboard. How you doing?
Hey, I was having a couple of questions for Pete.
Sure.
Testing his memory.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was, I'm not sure if it was a baseball player, but you said his name was Dash Riprock.
Dash Riprock, I think, was either a character in the Flintstones or a Rock Hudson movie.
Oh, because I thought, you know who it was, of course, was Jethro de Bodine that wanted to be the double knot spy. And he also wanted to be famous like Dash Riprock, the big movie star.
Oh, they're making
fun. So I thought you were like, I thought it was a real person.
Oh, you lost me there, right in the middle.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, when I started listening to y'all, Kimmer had done something to upset you, and I guess it was John Boy maybe and Hangman. And over that weekend, when you came back on, you said he bought all of us, and I thought you had said it was a crossbow for everybody.
Yeah, I did.
It was a crossbow.
I bought everybody a crossbow.
And
they all broke.
And Chad shot himself immediately.
Chad almost took his eye out.
Try out, kid.
And Kimmer, one question about the Newsmaker line.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he ever do you?
Boy, you know, he's never actually done me as a whole bit, but he's done some mimicking of me, of my phrases, I think. You know, that's a great observation. He's never actually done me calling in as the Kimmer, but he's done things that I've said before. I wonder if he could pull that off. I don't know whether I have a distinctive enough voice to make her style or whatever.
Actually, Tim Andrews does a pretty good impersonation.
Yeah, Tim Andrews at another station used to work here. Does the Kimmer pretty good. But Jim Gossett
would be so great if he could do you. Well, he'd be like, "Is that really the Kimmer? What's going on?"
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, I'll ask him shortly, and maybe tomorrow or Friday he could do it. Catherine, thank you so much. 5:21 already.
What are you people? On dope?
Shut up. Haviland Express Loop traffic check, Matt Dorr.
I say, this is Foghorn Leghorn, son. And this portion of our show is brought to you by CNN.
Oh.
CNN can take Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and still not get it straight. I said they still couldn't get it straight. It's a joke, son. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
All right, hold everything. I'm going to play the Bob Hope birthday call for you in a second. This is the day he was born in 1903 and died 100 years later. I'll call that, do that a bit for you here shortly. First of all, guitar picker Chan Kinchla of Blues Traveler is 50 years old today. Actress Laverne Cox from Orange is the New Black, 47. Cartoonist Aaron Magruder, who writes Boondocks, 45. Singer Melanie Brown, I think, is she a gangbang spice or is she threesome spice? Scary Spice, that's it. Melanie Scary Spice is 44. All right, 527. Let's see. I've got a couple of calls here. People been hanging on for a while. Hold on. Let's see. Here's Jesse on 2, Pete. There we go. Jesse, welcome aboard. How's it going? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound fine.
All right, sorry. I'm on speakerphone because I'm driving.
Okay.
I was wondering, I've heard the story now about all of the, it seems about all of the nicknames, but one that I have not heard yet is Spalding. How did he get that nickname? Get your foot off the
boat. Well, actually, that comes from Caddyshack, where Judge Smales is telling his grandson, Spalding, get your foot on the boat. And I think we just picked that one because we obviously didn't like his actual name. I don't even remember his actual name. Spencer, of course.
I love it.
And I think
so much.
Yeah, and that's right, Spencer. See, I never call anybody, but I don't even know I know Flounder's real name, but I never think of it first. So, and that was just, we had to pick a name, and we don't give people their own names, obviously. So I really don't know where it came from. Just hit us. We were talking about Caddyshack, and thought that'd be funny because it's weird.
All right.
That's all.
And I'm glad to say that you didn't almost get me killed today.
Oh, good. That's a good sign, man. Semper Fi, Jesse, I appreciate it. Will's got another question for Pete. I'm going to do the Bob Hope thing in a minute. Lines are jammed, though. Hey, Will, you're on the radio. What you got?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm going to talk to Pete for a second if he's got time.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Pete, what are your thoughts on boxing?
I like boxing. I like heavyweight boxing mainly, and it's a shame that's been overtaken by UFC and MMA and all that stuff because I like boxing.
Right. So, Deontay Wilder just destroyed Dominic Breazeale in one round, but you never hear about it.
No, you don't hear about boxing at all. It's a shame. I remember going with Matt Stewart to the Evander Holyfield fight against Burt Cooper or something like that. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, fights are a lot of fun.
I love the heavyweights, too.
Yeah.
I watch all those. And lately on TV, they've had a whole bunch of these, super feathotweights and stuff.
And all that stuff.
That doesn't do anything for me with those little bitty guys boxing. Well, anyway, I'm glad you answered the question, Pete, about the what do they call it? The righteous, what is it? Jim Murray used to call it?
It's a sweet science.
The sweet science, which is hardly sweet.
Right.
Let's see, hold on here. Creepy Joe. All right, let's get Cletus. Cletus on 5. Cletus, how's it going, man? What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, I just want to tell you what you mean to me. I'm new to town, had a rough time. My wife left me for my ex-wife, found out my dog has rectal cancer, and I'm going to listen to all your shows. I'm going to be a regular caller, and I'm just so happy you kind of saved me,
Okay, Cletus.
Yeah, well, I got just one thing. While I was on the line, I heard you may not be there long, so I wrote down real quick the 5 gigs that you might want to do.
Okay.
You got time for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, from the home office in Boaz, Alabama. Number 5, nothing. Time to cash in that golden parachute known as white privilege. Number 4, I'm sorry. Biodegradable bovine butt plug salesman.
Oh,
I think that's an AOC thing. Photoshop your Tinder pics in an attempt to become the next Mr. Kellyanne Conway.
That's 3.
Number 2 is word on the street at the Vatican is Pope Francis will put in a good word for the camera becoming a priest. Says, with a prostate like yours, all the altar boys will go unscathed.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and the number 1 opportunity for the camera is the IWLC, the Instant Weight Loss Center. Just lose your job and you'll lose 30 pounds in no time.
There you go. All right, Cletus with the top 5 list right there.
Okay, that was my fault. I said take Cletus.
No, it's all right. It was fun. It's fun. Good stuff. Our listeners are having fun. That's all we're doing. We got 2 days. What? So let's have some fun. Hold on. I got all your calls, I promise. But as promised also, Bob Hope turned 100 years old, and I called out to California. Very long number.
Hello.
Hi, I'm calling for the Bob Hope residence.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Hi, is this Mrs. Hope? Mrs. Hope,
Let
Dolores?
me guess why you're calling.
Hey, well, sure.
Hey, Dolores, who's there on the phone? Who is it?
It's the Kimmer.
Hey, is that Bing? No, it's not Bing.
What happened to our golf game yesterday?
Oh, shut the
No, it's not being. He died 25 years ago, like you should have done. Oh,
the village people, ladies and gentlemen, aren't they?
Oh, what? Okay, yeah, he's 100. The old bastard's 100.
Oh, Mrs. Hope,
slobbering and going around in his hub around, hitting that wall. He's been hitting that wall for 3 hours.
Hey, how about that Ann Margaret?
Look, I'm only hanging on for the money.
Hey, thanks for the memory.
I could kill myself. I want to just poke my eyes out with the phone right now.
Mrs. Hope.
You know what I've been putting up with for the last 75 years? That God.
Go to the bed.
Hey, Dolores, I think I just went.
Yeah, you went. I'll change that when I get some time. He's been sitting in his own for the last 6 hours.
I just flew back from Da Nang, and boy, are my arms tired. Where's my laugh track?
All right.
I don't hear a laugh track.
Oh, it doesn't get any funnier than you
Look,
sitting
guys,
here.
The money.
Look, I'm just waiting for the old guy to pass over so I can get the money. Let me tell you, when I take that money, I'm getting the hell out of here. Having a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for the memory.
Your memory, you stupid old. Good.
Did I listen? I think I called it a bad time.
Called that a bad time. This is a good day for this. Hey, get the hell off my carpet with those wheels.
To all you guys and gals.
Excuse me, I gotta go slap the crap out of you.
I don't know what line.
Happy birthday. Sorry to mean to interrupt you. By the way, that was Leslie Sharp, who used to do bits with me. She's a local actress, comedian, does My Dad's Garage or My Uncle's Basement or whatever those spontaneous things. Dad's Garage. Sweet, real nice lady. And Jim Gossett, and that was totally ad-libbed. At the last second, we got them each on, and they weren't in the same room, and they were in different cities. But it was just the ad-lib thing for kicks. It was a lot of fun. Now, let me get to Scott, because I think he might have heard that before on too. Hello, Scott, you're on the radio.
Hi, how are you, Kimmer?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Hey, yeah, well, I had 3 things. I don't know if I can do it quickly, but I think you'd like all 3 of them.
All right.
Number 1, 1996, a friend of mine who worked at the Olympics gave me 2 tickets to a baseball game. It happened to be Italy against Cuba, which wasn't much of a game, but it created a dilemma because there were 4 of us in the family, 2 sons and a wife. The 2 sons were both playing baseball. I said, well, how do we do this with the 2 of us? You know, we couldn't figure out a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm listening to the radio, and I hear you on the radio giving away baseball tickets. So I knew the answer to the question, and I tried to call in, and I got a hold of you, and you said, oh, gee, Scott, you're a little bit too late. I gave them away, and I explained the story, and you said, well, let me see if I can fix you up. Well, next thing I know, I get 2 tickets in the mail from you, and they were the exact 2 seats right next to the 2 that we had for the same game, which was on the Saturday. That was the day of the Eric Rudolph blow.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a miracle that there were the seats right next to the ones that we already had.
Wow, that is incredible. Yeah,
that was amazing. You remember giving those?
Yeah, I sure do. Absolutely. We were down there and Pete was there when the bomb went off. I heard the
yeah. Number 2, Bob Hope.
Yes.
This is a story I have. I heard you talking about Bob Hope a month or 2 ago. That made me think of it. I was working for Eastern Airlines, and I did volunteer to do some work for the Parkinson Foundation. And one of the events was to put on the 80th birthday for Bob Hope, which was in 1983. And so I was the main coordinator of it. We put it together, and we had famous people besides Bob Hope. Dick Clark was there, Phyllis Diller. We had Brooke Shields and what was his name, Christopher Atkins. They were filming Blue Lagoon at the time, in Miami. Mm-hmm. And anyway, one of the things they were doing after the dinner was to give away these flower pots in the middle of the tables that were pretty nice.
Yeah, centerpieces.
You had to line up and do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get in line. I decided to get one. My wife couldn't go. We had one child, a baby, and so I'm standing there and I'm waiting in line. And I look out there. I see Dolores Hope sitting out there by herself at the table. I said, "Gee, I wonder where Bob went." And I turn around and look. He's standing right behind me. I said, "Ooh, whoa! What are you waiting for? One of these 2?" He says, "Oh yeah. I thought I'd get one for Dolores if there's still one left." I said, well, I think we're okay. We got the cutoff here. And I said, gee, you didn't have to do this. He says, why? I said, well, you're a very important person. He says, well, so are you. I couldn't have this birthday without you. And
well, there you go.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Waited in line like everybody else. The last one I have to say is you were talking about funny names of restaurants. About 10 years ago, I was doing a project up in Sudbury, Ontario, and there was this Vietnamese restaurant called the Pho King. Yeah. Quickly, it sounds like something else.
Sounds like something else entirely. Yes, it does. Scott, thanks, man. Thanks for the.
I got to reach you, and hope to hear from you again. And I wish you all the best.
Thanks, man. We'll keep everybody posted. Appreciate it. 5:36. More newsmaker lines and lines are jammed too. It's all coming up right up till the end there on the old Go Away 106.7. Look out.
This is Christopher Walken.
Hey, Christopher.
This portion of our show is brought to you by a whiny wife, Nancy Pelosi, and Elton John.
Whiny wife, Nancy Pelosi, and Elton John.
Name a nag, a hag, and a fabulous performer.
There you are.
You know. And now here's your host, the Kimmer.
5:41. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer on the old Out of Here 106.7. 404-741-1067. Lines are jammed. I got newsmaker lines to get on for you here too. 1965, Bob Dylan's album Bringing It All Back Home, #1 in the British charts. His second #1 album there. The black and white pamphlet lying across the Time magazine with President Lyndon Johnson on the cover is a publication of the Earth Society. I don't know what that means. 5:42. By the way, this is also a day in history. In 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay of Nepal became the first climbers to reach the top of Mount Everest, 1953. Because Mount Everest is in the news because all now the me selfie takers are killing people up there because too many freaking crowds. And by the way, one more example why Hillary Rodham Pea Stinky Fart Cabbage is nothing but a serial liar. She's told the story for years that she was named after Sir Edmund Hillary. She was born 8 years before he climbed Mount Everest and was ever heard of. So that was just a made-up lie. Woman can't help it. 5:43. Hold on. Patrice on 4. Pete's been hanging the longest. Hello, Patrice. How's it going?
Hey, great. Hi, Kimmer. How are you?
We're doing great. Haven't talked to you in a while. It's been some time.
Well, it's been many years. I moved to Atlanta many, many years ago, and I listened to several radio stations, and one day I called in, and I had a question, and I was talking and kind of going on, and you were silent, and you were listening, and then you finally said, "What radio station are you calling? Who do you think you're talking to?" I said, "Clark Howard." and you said, no, you were so nice, and you probably thought I was an idiot, but it was hilarious. Every time I think about it, I laugh, and every time I hear your voice and your laughter, I crack up. So
you're very sweet.
You've been great, and I can't wait to hear you again.
Thank you, Patricia. That's very sweet of you. That's very kind. Usually I pretend that I am Clark Howard when somebody, and they give them tickets to Birmingham or something, and a free rental car if you can. Don't mind standing all the way. 5:43. Let's see. Hold on. Sergeant Gary on 6, and I got some newsmaker lines here. Hello, Sergeant Gary. You're on the radio. Welcome. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. Kimmer. How you doing, sir?
Very well, sir. What can we do for you?
Yeah, thank you for your service for this great country and for all the great entertainment that you've given us over the years. All of Atlanta just loved hearing from you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You did a bit a long time ago, and you do it every Christmas. The Redneck Night Before Christmas. That stuff is funny.
You know, I'll get it on tomorrow. We'll make a note of that tomorrow. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant Gary. I appreciate it. 5:44. How about a newsmaker line, Flounder? What do you think? Good afternoon.
Kimmer.
It's W. How's it going?
Oh, can you hear me okay? I called back because the first line sounded really bad, so I tried back again.
Oh, you mean like normal? No, it sounds great now.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of like Freddie Mercury said to Rock Hudson.
What was that, sir?
I don't know if the problem's on my end or your end. But anyway.
Either way. You're not going to make it.
Well, I wanted to reach you before you went on vacation next week. Are you going anywhere fun?
Not
Are
really.
they going to be playing best of shows?
It's not really a vacation, sir.
We'll all be here June the 10th when you get back. So
okay.
Have a good time while you
Thanks
go somewhere nice.
For that week off, yeah.
Something I'm hoping maybe you could explain to me. When did climbing Mount Everest become as dangerous as approaching the same intersection as my wife Laura? You know, Laura, she thinks the stop sign is only a suggestion.
A suggestion, sure, if you feel like it. Not in a hurry.
Yeah. She's worked for an answering service, you know.
An answering service? Really? I didn't know.
She told people, let me see if I can run him down for you. glad we can laugh about it now.
Well, it's funny now.
We're not the one laying in the road with in a pool of our own blood, you know.
Bumper for a head catch.
Over Memorial Day weekend, she threw a couple of classmates on the grill. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom, wow. Boom.
2 people were injured when a garbage truck crashed into Gloria Estefan's recording studio down in Miami.
Yeah, Miami studio, Gloria.
Yeah, apparently Killer Mike had rented the studio and the garbage men were there to pick up the demo. You know, direct to hefty bag.
Goes right to the landfill. Cut out the middleman.
Anyway, you know, you can pick up Killer Mike's new CD at Walmart.
Walmart? Really? You can pick it up there?
It's in the dumpster in the back, I think. Well, speaking of music, the Spice Girls tour had terrible sound problems yet for a second straight night.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize your engineering department was moonlighting.
No. It's the equipment, sir.
Yeah. It won't be a problem for K-Love where every tax-evading plea for money under false pretenses will be crystal clear. I promise you won't miss a word when they bring in their state-of-the-art equipment, yeah. I'll say if you want to hear real contemporary Christian music without the begging and Soros-backed hidden agenda, set your dial to the Fish 104.7.
That's right, the Fish. Yeah.
That's what I do. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, President Bush, if you were a young parent in today's world, would you vaccinate your children?
Vaccinate your children?
I said, hell no, I'd let a doctor do it. I mean, what kind of stupid question is that? Vaccinate my children.
Reminds me of the time when your wife was pregnant and about to give birth and you had to call the doctor and misunderstanding.
I was a nervous wreck. You remember that I was calling when she was about to give birth to the twin daughters, Jenna and Barbara. And guess what? They were born on the same day.
That's incredible. Twins born on the same day. And the contractions were coming.
Anyway, I called the doctor and said, my wife Laura's having labor pains. The contractions are coming closer and closer together. And the doctor said, is this her first child? I said, no, you idiot. This is her husband. This is her first child.
What were you thinking? Look out, 5:48. A couple of quick phone calls, almost out of time. Derek on 5. Pete's been hanging the longest. Hello, Derek, you're on the radio.
Hey, Kimmer.
Yeah, man.
I go way back with you from the very beginning, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
Very beginning. Supported you in every way I could. Went to the roast. Got a hotel room with my wife.
Oh, my goodness. 2003, that was, I think, as I recall.
Sir, yeah. Did a bid on a Ben Hogan signed Life magazine.
Oh, cool.
And won it.
Yeah.
Proceeded to the Snowball Open. It was the second one at River Pines.
Excellent.
You'll have the blue sweatshirt and the tan windbreaker from the other one.
Yeah, cool.
I walked up to you to tell you that, hey, I got this thing from my father-in-law. Signed, he's a big golfer, blah, blah, blah. And this is typical Kimmer. You looked at me and said, good. You now have when he passes away and dies, you now have something for your man cave.
Well,
and I kind of looked at you and went,
I don't remember saying that.
You don't? Well, and I kind of went, all righty then.
I was probably hammered.
My wife asked me, look. So, yes, I think. And also, was it Gossett who was played Elvis at your roast?
Oh, man.
It was an Elvis outfit. Whoever it was, my wife and I were getting
remember.
My wife and I were getting on the elevator, and from across the Marriott lobby, I yelled, Elvis has left the building.
Yeah, there you go.
But the real reason I called, do you remember a guy who used to call you all the time? It was Vance from Roswell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was at his funeral on Friday.
Oh, no kidding. And, I'm so sorry.
And that's fine. And he turned me on to you 30 years ago, and he wanted me to call you. I saw him a couple weeks ago and wanted me to call you and thank you. He couldn't really speak at the time, but wanted me to thank you for all the memories.
Wow, Derek, I'm very touched, my friend. Wow.
I'm sorry to end the day like this.
No,
it is what it is, Kimmer.
Yeah.
I think you're the best.
Well,
and wherever you go, I'll find you.
Derek, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It's very, very touching. Very touching. And it's why, this is real. This is reality. This is why I like radio more than television, because this is it. This is live. It's right now. It's spontaneous and natural. So 5:51. God, almost out of time. Quickly to Greg on 2. Greg, you're on the radio. How's it going? Welcome.
It's going well. Just want to say I listened to you guys when you were with GST, and then I turned on Monday afternoon after you mysteriously disappeared the previous Friday. And then, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, a buddy at work said he heard some new guy on the radio called Kim Peterson. And I said, what station? Finally found you. So I'm going to miss you. And I just wonder, have you guys played Boo Got Shot?
No. It's a funny memory, but it doesn't belong to us, so we're going to have to leave that one in the past. Let's do another newsmaker line real fast. Good afternoon.
Why must you come on the day of my daughter's wedding? It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. There's Johnny Fontane. Yeah. He came all the way from California to sing at my daughter Connie's wedding.
Sing at her wedding, yeah. Yeah.
Here comes the bride. Here, bride. Come here, bride. Who's a good bride?
Godfather.
You come to me in friendship before the podcast meeting. You wouldn't be suffering this very day.
I'm already suffering right now.
Who knows? I might have let you know about some of my future plans. It's a very sad day,
Sad day, yeah.
My son Michael here is with me. I don't know if he's heard the news. The actor who played Carmine Rosado in Godfather 2 died.
Yeah, he passed away, yeah.
Yeah.
85.
I'm sure Frank Pantangeli would be glad to hear that news. He never liked the Rosado brothers.
That's right.
The Rosado brothers. They're taking hostages, Mike. And I'll tell you, everything with them is whores and junk and dope. And they spit in my face. I want to run my family without you on my back, and I want the Rosado brothers dead. And they're errand boy Johnny Olo or whatever. Frankie never forgave the Rosado brothers for almost killing him, Yeah, I hear it's the same restaurant where the boss is having a going-away party for the No Talk 106.7.
Too bad we're going to miss it.
Yeah. In the words of Joe Pesci in the movie Casino, back up here a minute, H. The boss is hosting a going-away party for the station he undermined, refused to support, and openly sabotaged from the day he got here.
Yeah, that guy.
It kind of sounds like the going-away party they gave Sonny at the toll booth, doesn't it?
Bye-bye.
You know what the killer's boss gets when he takes Viagra?
What does he get?
Taller. They're going to do to me. Now it's time for Don Eck the Magnificent.
Don Eck the Magnificent, sir.
The answer is Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
How would you introduce Bob to my daughter Connie? The answer is a new iPad.
A new iPad.
What does Mo Green need when he bleeds through the old iPad? Saw that one coming up the freeway.
Saw that one, all right.
Can I do this one, Pop?
Oh, it's Junior.
Sure, Michael, go ahead. Michael. The answer is he stood up his girlfriend.
He stood up his girlfriend.
What's Sonny's idea of foreplay? He drives that poor girl up the wall.
And Pop wants to see her.
That's right. Go, Pop, I got to pop. Then I'll be down there. I held in my hand the final
the last one. Okay.
May Al Neary ask you to go fishing and let you ride shotgun.
Yeah, you get in the front.
You should all pray the rosary. Look how I worked out for Fredo,
The answer is Bugs, Rocks, and my son-in-law, Carlo.
Bugs, Rocks, and my son-in-law, Carlo.
Name 3 things that can ruin a windshield. Always great to be on.
Total honor to have you aboard. Thank you, Godfather. Pete, we have Aaron's been hanging. Aaron, I got 25 seconds, the last of the show, and they're all yours. Welcome. Thanks for holding so long. Yes, sir.
Hey, Kim. I was just calling just to throw in, not to forget about creepy Joe Biden. He has a new video out where he called a young girl, 10-year-old girl, good looking, and was all over her for the rest of the day.
Yeah, creepy.
Did y'all see that video?
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, I was disgusted. I hope this guy slips down the escalator.
Yeah. Aaron, anyway, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Remember that NBC, who's that nasty girl? No. The married married to the Fed guy. Andrea Mitchell. Remember, she said Joe Biden has been accused of doing things with women, but not sexual. Not sexual. Freaking liars. Hey, I gotta go to kill him. You right, Herb?